Yes, Chelsea fans, how are you all doing? How's it going? Hopefully you're all good. Hopefully you are good. Welcome along to the stream. It's a stream that's hopefully is working. I've just got to make sure it's working. I'm using StreamYard. It's totally different to what I normally do. Hopefully it's all right and you can hear me. I can't hear a dicky bird in my earphones, by the way. But we're going to get there. I'll tell you why I can't hear a dicky bird. I can't hear a dicky bird because I've not got my right settings set up. Let's just say that. Hold on. There you go. That should be much better. Let's just do this and then just do it again. And then hopefully, let's close that off. There you go. I got it. I got it now. Honestly. Right, here we go. How are you all doing? Why has my picture gone funny now? My picture funny? Honestly. Can you guys hear me all right? Do I need to be a bit louder? Let's go a bit louder. Anyway. We're good. So, Chelsea fans. Picture's gone funny. Why is my picture funny? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's have a look now. I'm just trying to sort my settings out. This is a whole new thing for me, so bear with me. Honestly, I'm working on it. I'm working on this. Bear with me, people. I know I'll probably sound all right, but my picture was woeful. And my latency is not great. How are you all doing? Hopefully you're all good. If you want to join in, if you want to be part of this stream, oh, it seems a bit woeful, doesn't it? It doesn't seem like it's clear enough. Anyway, how are you all? Okay. Is the picture all right? Is it a bit jumpy? I think it might be jumpy. Anyway, people. So, channel members. I've got to turn my earphones off for a second. I've got to turn them on. I've got to leave them on. Yeah, anyway, people, so welcome to the stream. The plan is that this is a brand new thing that I'm trying on StreamYard. I'm not doing the normal. So the settings are something I've got to play with, which, bear with me, I will get there. So, people, you guys that are channel members, you have got an opportunity to come on and join. You can join in my stream. You can come and chat. You can just have the mic on. You can have the camera on. And come and give your opinions. Not just me, but your opinions. And everybody else can see your opinions as well. They can hear from you. They can see from you. See from you? What the hell does that mean? Let me try my audio settings. Honestly. Okay, so let's get started with this stream. How are you all been? There's been a lack of videos on my channel. I know there has been. I've been working full time. It's been full on. It's been it's been unreal. And yeah, so with my little boy being one as well, it's just difficult at times at night to get one done. So apologies. There will be videos back. There's loads going on. I got to take one ear off because I can hear myself echoing about 2 seconds after I'm talking, which puts me off. Anyway, people, there is so much to discuss. Welcome along to the stream. So yeah, channel members, if you want to be involved, check out the message I put on the community tab on my channel. You've got my email address on there. Email me. I'll get you in. You'll be on screen chatting and giving your opinions as well. We've got Woodshadow who's going to join us this evening, which is great. Paul, get involved as well. Channel members, if you want to be involved in the chat, if you want to get involved online and you want to be your cam, your mic, whatever, Obviously, keep your opinions clean. No racism, no defamatory remarks. You know the drill. Then all you got to do is be a channel member. Go to my channel homepage, click that join button. I think it's only £1 a month to be a channel member. So make sure you come and join. Anyway, I'm trying to get 1080. Have I got 1080p on? Hopefully I have. So I will start to try and use this program, put certain comments up as well. So good evening, everybody. Welcome along. It's been a while, as we said. And just to say welcome, welcome along. Let's just get a invite out to Mr. Woodshedder, who's going to come and join us for the first one this evening. There you go. So Woodshedder, I've just sent you an email, mate. You can come and join. Come and join into the studio, and then we go from there. This is all new. Jem Hanks is a new member. Thank you very much, Jem. Appreciate it. Jem, if you check out the community tab, hopefully you're going to see that the my email address on there. You can contact me. Blue Dragon, appreciate it. Really, really do. I really appreciate that. And also, let's just say this. Can we also have a little bit of silence for Man United with news that Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave Man United? We need to have a moment of silence, unfortunately, for them. It's just like, honestly. So, welcome every single one of you. Thank you for being here. It's much appreciated for sticking with me. As I keep saying, we're just going to get into it. We're going to give it a little bit. We're going to give it maybe another 7 minutes or so. Then we're going to get into the Chelsea transfer talk. What's the deal with this stream? The picture for you guys, is it clear? Is it not? Hopefully it is for you guys. But I mean, if you know, I said the stream is going to be between 8 and 10 tonight. If it's got to be longer, it'll be longer. So welcome along, and we're going to get into this. Oh, it's catching up. It is catching up, which is not too bad. Anyway, people, let's just get involved. So I need to. So bear with me. I'm working out this new program I'm using. I'm not using OBS. I'm not using all that sort of stuff. I'm using StreamYard because I need to start getting you guys involved. Oh, it's got to install Chrome. Brilliant. Seymour says, Ron's had enough and doesn't fancy a Thursday night in a random European country. What I will say, Seymour, is the fact that we've been there twice. Haven't we? Anyway. Hold on. Here we go. So, don't forget, new channel members, email me. Email me if you want to get involved and give your opinions on air rather than just a chat. So, Jem, welcome to the squad. Welcome to being a channel member. Thank you very much. This is very slow, I have to say. My computer's slow. I can see me on here. My stream on here is marvelous. But yeah. So anyway. Let's take this off. Can I hear myself talking? Hopefully I can. Am I going to be able to hear you guys when you come on and talk to me? Hopefully we will. 5 more minutes, people. We're going to get involved in the latest stories. You've seen the thumbnail for this particular videos. We're talking Raphinha. We're talking Dembele. We're talking Nathan Ake. We're talking Raheem Sterling. We're talking Zinchenko, Ligt. We're also talking Joules, Kounde, and possibly Cristiano Ronaldo. Robert, he is one. He's one. He's now 13 months, believe it or not. But thank you for asking, mate. Thanks for asking. How are you all doing? I can see that Moses. See, I see this a lot. I do see this comment come up a hell of a lot. You're worried with the lack of signings, new signings at Chelsea, but surely by seeing the headlines in the media, all you can see at the moment is Chelsea are working hard. Todd Boehly's working hard. They're working hard to bring people in to support Todd Boehly, to support Thomas Tuchel, and it's all going to be a positive. It's all going to be a positive. Lost Dembele. We're going to lose Raphinha, but at the end of the day, if we do lose Raphinha, we're going to get into it in a little bit. But, you know, we only want players that want to play for Chelsea, surely. Why do we want players that are not bothered about signing for Chelsea? They want to go to Barcelona first. And if the Barcelona things falls through, then they want to come and play for us after. It's like, no. We want players that want to be here. Simple as that. So, you know, Raphinha, if we lose out on Raphinha, is it a big deal? We'll get into it anyway. We will get into it. Todd Boehly's making waves. He is. Lee, you're right. You are right. As always, people, the Chelsea Staff pub is open as well as we do this stream. Mr. Woodshadow is in. Mr. Woodshadow's here. How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate. I've got you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. What I am going to do is I'm going to turn this off.
I'm hearing an echo. Yeah, I'm hearing an echo. So
you shouldn't hear it now. Hopefully, it's all good. You might have to just mute your. Can you hear? I mean, I don't know how this works. To be fair. Anyway, Woodshadow, let's have a look. How can I sort out this screen? Let me see if I can try a different option. There you go. That's a much better option, isn't it? I can see my screen perfect. I can see you in there in the corner you're on.
Oh, I sorted it out. It was just seems like I had my previous stream on with the other tab open.
Got you. Yeah. Okay. Well, so how are you, Woodshadow?
It is bloody hot in here.
Whereabouts are you again?
In Finland.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. And it's warm. It's warm there. So Woodshadow, this is a new thing for us. So all channel members have the opportunity to come and join, which is something going forward now. And I'm going to use this streaming package instead because it gives people a chance to get involved. It also hear a voice, and people can put a face to a voice. And so we're going to. So you're the first one. We know we tried it on Zoom before, but this is pretty much better. So we're going to go with this. So let's talk. So people in the chat are already talking already. So I did mention Raphinha. So as far as Raphinha goes, from what I can understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, people in the chat, and also yourself, Woodshadow, Chelsea's agreed a fee of £60 million with Leeds for Raphinha. And bearing in mind that Leeds have just sold Calvin Phillips for £45 million to Man City, they're thinking £60 million for Raphinha, £100 million to spend on 3 players, probably for Leeds, or possibly 4 players to bolster their squad. They want a quick deal done, but the player himself, as he's instructed, or apparently has said to his agent Deco, that he wants Barcelona. And Barcelona have come in, bearing in mind they've just sold their TV rights and made a cool 177 million. Barcelona apparently can afford instalments. And I'm only offering at the moment 50 million to Leeds for instalments. And Leeds don't want that. They want 60. So at the moment it's up in the air whether or not Raphinha is a Chelsea target and will be, or if it's literally just waiting for Barcelona to say, look, we'll pay you extra 10 million as part of those instalments. But the main question is in the chat to everybody else and to yourself is, what do we think about Raphinha to Chelsea? Woodshadow, what do you think?
Well, I think the main thing that comes to my mind is, why do all our targets want to go to Barcelona? Why do all our players want to go to Barcelona? And why do all the Barcelona players that are out of contract, why do they want to stay at Barcelona? It can't work for them, for all of them. So no. I think that if Barcelona actually snatch Raphinha off to their club, then well, that will put a snowball effect of sorts, because that would of course imply that Dembele is not going to stay there. That will put some wheels in motion in that department also.
Yeah.
As far as
Raphinha is a Chelsea player, How would you see him playing for Chelsea if there's the slim opportunity that he comes to Stamford Bridge? If it falls through at Barcelona, how would he fit in at Chelsea?
Right, yeah. It was only recently when I mean, before he was getting seriously linked with us, that I even took notice that we are interested in Raphinha. And his name kept popping up here and there, even like in January, I guess. But there was always this notion that he wouldn't suit our system because Tuchel would make him a wing back, like he does with Hudson-Odoi and others, and that could be something that is a little bit off-putting to Raphinha, maybe. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, he would have to be rotated in different positions, and who knows, maybe they tried to pitch the idea to him and it didn't really. He had a second thought or something and thought that maybe Barcelona he'll get to play just as a winger. Yeah. But obviously there is this confusion on our strikers. What position do they play and what is our formation? Do we stick with one formation, or is Tuchel trying to prepare for a setup where he can flexibly change 2 or even 3 different formations, because we have the 5 subs coming in, and that'll give a lot of flexibility when it comes to cracking down hard opposition defenses and stuff. So, but yeah, your question, how could Raphinha work here? I have no effing clue, because it just seems that it's just better not to have any expectations whatsoever for our attacking players. It seems so. I mean, we've been hurt so much in the past. I mean, anybody who, my kind of take on it is, I would like players like Ben Chilwell with a mental attitude like Ben Chilwell's. Like, he's a positive guy in the team squad, and he understands when he needs to be on the bench. He's there for a reason, and he understands he has to put his best when he's on the field. And he always seems to be, getting on with the guys. What I'm really fed up with, we have in Chelsea, we have this problem where our attackers seem to be so effing unhappy. Like, if they don't get to play all the games, like they'll be moaning and soaking in the benches. Like, I mean, I love Hakim Ziyech. He's a magical player, but every now and then when he always seems to get injured, and Tuchel had to always build him up to get to his form, he always you can see in his face that he's not happy. You can see that he's disappointed, and the same you can see in Christian Pulisic. And I love Pulisic. I mean, but if all of these players would be a little bit like Ben Chilwell, like a good sport, good lad, and who understands that if you come to Chelsea, it's not about you, and you have to understand that it's a team, all the teammates, everybody counts, everybody has to do their part, and you're not going to start every game.
I think you made a couple of good points there. Definitely a couple of good points. I think the thing is, for me, I think if you look at Raphinha coming in from Leeds and Hakim Ziyech, I think it's like for like. People might say it's a little bit random, but for me, I think Hakim Ziyech, I've said it before on my streams, is that Hakim Ziyech likes to pick the ball up in a wide position where he can side on view and he can see the ball coming to him, he can see the players coming towards him, and he's got a picture straight away in his mind of where everything's at. And he can see the game, he can read the game, he creates himself a bit of space, and he can kill people with a little bit of space. The problem that you've got is, in a Tuchel formation as it is at the moment, as a number 10, he's been asked to play with his back to goal. It doesn't suit Hakim Ziyech, and that's why he's unhappy. And I think, he's had some games where he's come in and he's been great for a few games. He's got a goal or two, especially the Tottenham game, exactly, a great goal. But I think with Hakim Ziyech is the fact that he's never had a chance to play and settle in a way there where he's comfortable with playing. And I think if you bring... So Hakim Ziyech is probably going to AC Milan. Let's just say that now. I think it looks like he's going to go 20, 25 million, right? Which is an absolute steal. And they'll probably get the best out of him because they're going to play him in the same way. But so if we did get Raphinha... Now, I know somebody's mentioned Sterling. We're going to get into that in just a second. But if we talk about Raphinha, surely he's the same sort of similar player. He's somebody that likes to play a little bit wide. You know, he doesn't play as a number 10 with his back to goal. He likes to do his damage from a wide area. So it's interesting. It's an interesting take on the situation with Tuchel and the targets and things like that. We keep hearing that such and such is a main target and this person's another target. But the point you make about the formation is key as well. And I think the problem that we've got with Chelsea and the Chelsea squad at the moment, when I look at the Chelsea squad, it's lined up for 4-3-3. It always has been. The 4-3-3 is the best formation for me. 4 at the back, holding midfielder, 2 number 10 or 2 number 8s, 2 wide players, and a main striker. And that's how the squad is now. So Tuchel's looking for players to come in and maybe fit in that way or fit into how he wants to play at the moment, the 3-4-3 or the 3-4-2-1. But I still think we should be 4-3-3. And if we were 4-3-3, the likes of Hakim Ziyech, you know, think of Chelsea as a 4-3-3 with the squad we got right now. You'd go Kante as a holding midfielder. You'll go Mateo Kovacic, and you'll go Loftus-Cheek or Mason Mount as the number 8s or the box-to-box midfielders. And you'd go Pulisic left. You'd go Ziyech on the right, and you'll go Havertz or Werner through the middle. And for me, it suits the players. That's what I think, and that's just by looking at the squad as it is now. So the Raphinha thing for me, I know there's a lot of Chelsea players going, oh, we've lost him. But I said it I tweeted it out last night or whatever it was. We want players that want to come and play for the football club.
Exactly.
And they want to come and play for Chelsea. They'll be proud to play for Chelsea. And it's not this, well, yeah, I look at your offer and that's on the table, but I just want to hear what Barcelona want to do. And I think the thing is, the only reason that I think the Barcelona thing is holding things up is Barcelona and Real Madrid have got this prestige. They've got this reputation worldwide for years, and they're seen as like the main 2 clubs. You know, to look to the Brazilians, the South Americans, people in Europe as well. And I think that when the likes of think of a few years back when Real Madrid come calling, you can't turn them down. Eden Hazard. You know, when Barcelona come calling, you can't turn them down. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I think that still exists amongst certain players. And I think, for example, you think of the Brazilians that have played for Barca. Raphinha, obviously, if he gets the link with Barcelona, following the footsteps of, you know, those type of players, then, you know, I just think that's the thing with Barcelona. But for me in particular, I don't think the Raphinha thing works for Chelsea. And I think if he comes in, it's like for Hakim Ziyech. And can he play as a number 10 if we're going to stick in the same formation? Probably not.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that's what I think.
Can I just finish on the formation and this kind of stuff? So let me. I have to admit that I wasn't really paying attention to Raphinha's playing too much in the previous season. So, I mean, I don't really have a good grip on you know what his playing is all about. But yeah, so we have the obvious formation of a 3-4-3 or you know, stuff that that can flex out in this way. So we have 3 in the back, and the rest is all about who's available, who isn't injured, and who's on form. And Tuchel, let me put it this way: the reason the formation worked, you know, the previous season where we won the Champions League was because we
won the Champions League, didn't we?
We did, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. The reason it worked, but was that Tuchel had the players he had, and they were fit. They didn't get injured, and they were performing consistently throughout the later part of the season. But we're only winning.
Chris, as a channel member, you can. Yeah. Sorry. We'll say, Chris, as a channel member, you can join the stream. Have a look at the homepage. Click join.
Yeah. Right. Please join, Chris. Anyway, look, we were only winning like 1-0 or 2-1s. You know, it was only like winning on 1 goal, so we weren't really making or like putting goals in during those games really. And the same thing, Lukaku came in, and we thought that would solve all our problems, but
no.
But my theory kind of is that I mean, we all know that we blew the season when Chilwell and Reece James got injured. And we were relying too much. And Tuchel built something. He was building something, and it was becoming beautiful. It was really nice to watch. We were creating chances, and then when that house fell down, there wasn't really much left to save the situation. We didn't get anybody in January, and what was I saying about the formation? My kind of theory is, when I'm looking at our targets, who are we going after, and I could be wrong, but it seems to me like Tuchel is planning for something where he would have like 2 or 3 very solid formations that he can flexibly change with the subs coming on. And to me, like, looked as if he was already trying to build that up last season. But, things went pear-shaped when we had all the injuries and all the drama with Lukaku and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is.
And people, that's a good point, because people forget that. A lot of people forget the fact that we had Chilwell and Reece James were both firing, scoring goals. They were just a fantastic threat from both sides, and it's just literally teams would come up against us, playing against us, and thinking you have to cover both wings here.
That's true.
Both of those two were dominating. They're getting forward. Both of them was, as I said, were being influential in the final third. They were scoring goals, and we had a perfect balance. And the problem that we got is that they both got injured. And you're sitting there thinking, right, how do we cope with this? Let's put Azpilicueta back out there. Let's play Marcos Alonso on the left-hand side, who, as we know, is not the best defender that there is at the football club. So I think Thomas Tuchel is I think the problem that you've got with Chelsea, and this is the positive with the new ownership, and I won't speak bad about Roman Abramovich, because what they did for us, or what he did for us, was just amazing. I love him forever. But the good thing about now is that Thomas Tuchel's now got control or a massive say in transfers now, whereas before he could give some names forward. But the problem is that basically it's now the fact that he's now got an influence. Boehly's saying, who do you want? And they're going after what Thomas Tuchel wants. And that's massive. And I think by the time this transfer window closes, and you look at the Chelsea squad as it is, when we start, into September, then I think we're going to begin to see a Tuchel team. And I think that's when he'll hopefully be flexible and have more than one formation to play with. So that's what I think anyway, with regards to that. But the point we're talking about at the moment, people, is Raphinha. And in my opinion, I don't think it's any loss really that if we do lose him, he's going to go to Barcelona, because I think he's like for Hakim Ziyech, and Hakim Ziyech can play as a number 10, and I can't see Raphinha doing the same.
Can I just say that regarding our season, I mean, it was horrible at the end. It was horrible to watch, but considering everything we had to go through, I'm bloody happy with our season. I mean, you can't be upset about, finishing. We have top 4. We're in the Champions League. It left a sour taste in the mouth with all the sanction stuff, the Lukaku stuff, injuries. I mean, if let's say a Man United had to deal with all that, you think they'd be where they are. I mean, it would be disaster. It would be total chaos. Or any of the other top 6 teams, if they would have been put through what we have been through, I don't think they would have ended up top 4, anywhere near top 4.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is, as I say, is that we've now got an opportunity for Todd Boehly to come in and to back the manager, and let's see what happens by the end of the window. As far as what Thomas Tuchel is going to do, and in relation to the squad and the formation, the way things go, I mean, let's be positive about it. It can only get better. That's the main thing for me. I mean, Lukaku's gone. The least said about him, the better. But just a little point to note, people, if you've never seen my stream before, I spoke about Lukaku in my last live stream. I did a little video on Lukaku, and I had to say the fact that it was the point-blank refusal by Lukaku to try and adapt to the situation. try and adapt to the fact that Thomas Tuchel wanted to try and play him a certain way. He'd give it a go, didn't work out, and just threw his toys out the pram and gave up. So we don't need people like that. And I think as a result, Kai Havertz is now the number 9 this season. I think that's becoming pretty clear when we talk about a certain England striker that plays for Man City who's going to be joining us by the looks of it for 45 million. But we're going to get onto him a little bit later on. So let's talk about the second person that we've got on the stream that we're going to be discussing. It is Ousmane Dembele. Now, it seems to be a little bit of confusion is the situation with Dembele. Is he now going to stay at Barcelona? Because they've sold their TV rights, they've got all this money. They now can afford the contracts again. You've not got the people like Gerard Piqué having a pay cut and all this sort of stuff. They got their 170 odd million. Is Dembele now going to get a contract offer that he wants? And is he just going to stay at Barcelona? Were Chelsea used as a bit of a make weight? Or is the interest real? People are putting ice cold, how you doing, mate? People are putting putting 2 and 2 together maybe and getting 5. But, because obviously he played under Tuchel at Dortmund. But Dembele, again, is this a player that's going to fit into Thomas Tuchel's formation as it is now, as a number 10? Is he somebody that's similar to your Raphinhas, to your Hakim Ziyech? Can he play number 10 or can he not? That's a great shout, Seymour, by the way. That's a brilliant shout. I think people confuse real life with FIFA 22.
Yeah. 100%, yeah.
Yeah. So I think Ousmane Dembele, I don't really know a lot about him, basically. I have to say that. I haven't watched a lot about him. Straight away, I just think that, you think of the players that we link with at the moment. Sterling's, your Dembele, your Raphinhas. Sterling's different because he's similar to Werner. He likes to come in or play on the left-hand side of an attacking or a strike force and come in from that side. Whereas your Dembele's and your Raphinhas are more out-and-out sort of winger-type players. So, you sort of look and think, is he trying to mould something different to try and put him into a different formation? Or is he just looking at, just like for like maybe? Chelsea's lacked a winger. The only natural wingers that we've got is Callum Hudson-Odoi. Pulisic and Ziyech can all play wingers, but Hudson-Odoi, we've only got 3 wingers or players that can naturally play wide. I know people talk about Werner, but so maybe, I don't know, maybe he's looking at the option to switch to a 4-3-3 at some point. But I think the fact that Thiago Silva, I'm sort of thinking about it as I'm saying it, the fact that Thiago Silva is there this season, are they going to play with a 2 with Thiago Silva and somebody else? Possibly. So it all comes down to formations, isn't it? But what do you think of Dembele, Woodsheader?
Well, I've been warming up to Dembele. I have all the same concerns that everybody else, like his injury record and his bad reputation regarding managing his health and managing his fitness and all that kind of stuff. But I'm also hearing noises that he's put that past and he's having professionals taking care of his diets and fitness and everything. And he's not getting injured anymore. And it's still a risk. It's a big risky signing. But if he stays fit, if he comes to our club and Tuchel knows how to use him, then hell yeah. Why not? But the thing with Dembele, perhaps Neymar, if it comes to that, it wouldn't have been an issue with Raphinha, but with these two, they are so big, marquee, real, on a tier above anybody that we have in our club at the moment, except maybe N'Golo Kante. But Kante is not that kind of character that would have these problems. But you know where I'm going with this. Yeah. They get so much wages. They are just in that respect above everybody else. But they it's hard to it's hard to see before it happens. Would they actually? Yeah. Would they work in the squad, and how would the other squad kind of take that, and will there be kind of sour chemistry or?
Yeah, Yeah, I think, yeah, that's a great shout, by the way, from Lee. 3 months ago, we were worrying we wouldn't even have a club. We are back. Great shout, Lee. Good one, mate. Appreciate that. But yeah, it's just the thing is as well. It all comes down to the fact that actually I'm going to leave that up there, but it comes down to the fact again is that pre-season is a time, or the summer is a time to try and bring players in. You go through pre-season, you try different things in pre-season, and then you start the season with some sort of an idea. So the main thing for me when it comes to transfers in the summer is that you bring players that come in and they give you immediate competition for places that the players already in the squad in those positions, i.e. Chilwell, your Kantes, your Azpilicueta plans as centre half, or your Reece Jameses, that people come in and give them competition for places. I know we're not looking for fullbacks, but I'm just trying to give you an idea. There's no point bringing somebody in who's as a squad player who's not going to challenge someone for a start, and so it doesn't give anyone the motivation to, I've got to up my game because I need to keep my place in the team. So there are certain players that I've heard we've been linked with, and the summer's ridiculous. Everyone gets linked with everyone, it's just all sorts. Newcastle get linked with everyone because they got money. Man City are spending money. Tottenham are spending money. Tottenham have done really well in the window, I have to say that. But there's all sorts of players being linked with Chelsea. There always is, and especially now again because money's there with Todd Boehly and the consortium and things like that. So it's just, as I say, there's you do wonder at times these stories that come out. Now, let's be honest, there are agents in this world that want to line their pockets, and what they want to do is create some instability or make the situation with their player at his club unstable, a la possibly Dembele at Barca and possibly Neymar. Now, we're all sitting there saying Neymar's been told yesterday that his time at PSG is over, and all of a sudden today we're reading that he's triggered an extension to his contract to 2027. So it's all sorts of just nonsense, and you just have to look at some of these rumours and some of the speculation that comes in, and just think to yourself, is there anything in that really? And if it happens, is that going to be something that we can see realistically happening at Chelsea, and how they're going to fit in? Neymar never was going to come to Chelsea. He's going to be at PSG. PSG are just doing what they're doing with their money, and it was just ridiculous. But Steve makes a comment here saying that Dembele doesn't have a great attitude, the same as Neymar. This is what Man United brought, hence disruption to team morale. Team morale won us the Champions League, and it did.
That's a good shout. Yeah,
it's a great shout, Steve. But yeah, that's the thing. Players, you want to bring players that come in that fit into the team and the squad.
There is one point though. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, right. See, there's this thing where Tuchel got the most out of Dembele. He was on fire when he played under Tuchel in Dortmund. And yeah, if we get big egos like Neymar and Dembele, something tells me that Tuchel is the guy to keep them kind of in line and in check. There's obviously this, but referring to my previous point when I started, I'm just sick and tired of seeing Chelsea strikers getting unhappy when they could win things. They could really like elevate their team if they were a little bit more like Giroud was, like real professionals who don't moan, pick each other up. That's why I like Timo Werner. I'm disappointed that he's not scoring, but just as a testament to his character. You remember when he signed, that was the Lampard days when we had the post-Corona season. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that was when Pulisic was scoring goals for fun. And we had that FA Cup final against Arsenal. Timo was already announced as our player, and he even declined playing Champions League the season he had with his previous team. That tells you everything. He wanted to come to Chelsea because that was a step up in his career, and he was ready to make this place his home, and so he did. But it just didn't work out for him, and I'm really sort of sorry about it. But just once again, to get back to my point, I'm just all I'm really looking for in our strikers are that they are professional. They work together, and they are willing to put it all on the field and for the shirt. And that is why I'm actually warming up to Raheem Sterling, because I'm hearing that he's got leadership qualities. We need a leader in the attacking areas too. We need professionals there. I think Kai Havertz, he was captain in the Leverkusen team. I don't think whether or not he's ever going to be Chelsea's captain, but he's got a professional kind of look to him. I mean, his body language doesn't always look like he's super excited about everything, but he doesn't look like Hakim Ziyech or the other lot when they're like unhappy and not really banging in the goals. But yeah, let's just get somebody in and see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, but exactly, they've got to have the right attitude, willing to work hard. To accept that time's not going to play every single game, and let's just go from there. So, but we get to that. We're gonna get onto the striker situation. So we've spoken about Raphinha, Dembele as well. So next on the list that we were linked with, and Man City. It seems though Man City are going to hold firm. We're now looking at Nathan Ake. So Chelsea are looking at a deal for 3 Man City players. The first, obviously, is Raheem Sterling. I'm going to talk about him in just a second. The other one is Zinchenko. I'm going to talk about him. But we're now talking about Nathan Ake coming back. And Man City apparently have quoted, I think Newcastle wanted to try and sign him in January. And Newcastle were quoted 50 million. And Nathan Ake is, if Chelsea want to try and sign Nathan Ake, he's going to cost more than what Raheem Sterling is going to cost. We're going to get Sterling for around 45. Ake's going to be 50 million. So is that something that we're looking at, Nathan Ake? Is he going to be the answer to come back? Now, I think I like Nathan Ake. There was doubts about maybe his size as a centre-half, but you've seen him on loan at Bournemouth, like a goal threat from attacking corners. You've seen his career sort of develop, and if anything, Bournemouth was great for him. It sort of comes to a bit of a standstill at Man City, but he can play the left side of the defence. So if we're going to miss out on Kounde, get into him just a second and a bit later on as well, then Ake could be the answer. So let me know, people in the comments as well, what you think about Nathan Ake and if we should bring him back. If he'd be a perfect foil to play next to Thiago Silva on the left, with somebody else on the right of Thiago Silva, we're going to get into a bit later on. Just got to email you guys.
I hope we get somebody else on the chat. I mean,
yeah, so I'm just trying to get people involved.
May I just say a secret message to Ice Cold? Here we go.
Yeah, Ice Cold. Yeah, the pub's open. The pub is open.
Indeed.
Anyway, so let's just have a look here. So, Jem, make sure you check the community tab. Open up a second tab on your browser. Go to my channel homepage. Go to the community tab, and then send me an email, people. Channel members, if you want to get involved in the chat, then come and get in the chat. Let's have a look at some of these comments that have come in. I'm going to try and look through people, trying to get involved. Keep you guys involved as well, those that obviously can't come on. But so we're looking at, Prince says, the problem with Chelsea FC is formation. Players run away from the system of Chelsea's formation. Okay. Kaboom says, I feel Chelsea should go for Lewandowski, but I think Lewandowski wants Barcelona as well. That's the problem. David says, what's going on with Raphinha? Is he still heading to Barcelona? He is, by the sounds of it. They're just waiting to broker a installment-based deal to Leeds for 60 million to match Chelsea's offer, which Leeds accepted. Let's just have a look here. Blue Dragon says, swap deal with Ajax, Hakim for Anthony and some cash. Anthony was linked with Man United, wasn't he? But I don't think that's happening anymore. Lee says that Leeds have only agreed a deal with Chelsea. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Inabasi says, unpopular opinion, Levi Colwill, Alonso. Can't wait to see him ball next season. Hopefully he'll stay at the club. He'll get a good go in this pre-season and make an impression like Trevor Chalobah did. And look at Trevor Chalobah last year. So Seymour says Raheem is primarily at the age of 27. I'm going to get into that. The question is, people on the stream, is Nathan Ake, is he a signing, someone to bring back to the club? Is that somebody that can do a job? Someone that would be a great signing? So let me know in the comment section. We can try and get some people. So Ice Cold. How you doing? Signing Nathan Ake and Ligt would be great. I'm going to try and get some of these regulars. Try and get some of the regulars. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it out here. I shouldn't really do it, but I'll do it just to get people involved. So Ice Cold, can I get you? Can I message you directly? No, private chat. How can I private chat? Oh, here we go. Chat with everybody. So hold on. Can't do it, I don't think. I don't know how private chat works. I don't know. I don't know how to work this system. It's new. Anyway. James says, I'm 67, mate. I've only just worked out how to do this. Fair play. As I say, we just this is something new that we're doing. Ice Cold. Oh, you can't, can you? I'm going to say, what's your email address? Never mind, I can get you on. How can I invite? Can I invite you in? I don't think I can do that, can I? I wonder if I can do that. I'm not sure if I can do that.
The private chat, I think it must be for the StreamYard only, so only you and me can see it. But
oh right, I got you. Okay. We'll work through it anyway. As I say, we'll work through it. So hold on. So Steve says this. Steve says Nathan Ake is not at Chelsea's level. Now, what do you say that for, Steve? Let me know. Give us a bit of background to your opinion. That's the main thing. And everyone's entitled to an opinion. So fair play to you. Too much proper Chelsea on this channel. MCIG. Thanks, mate. Grant, have we already talked about Ronaldo? Just got here. Cristiano. I'll take Ronaldo all day long because he scores goals. But the problem that you've got is that look what happened to Man United's team. Man United did okay. Into the end of the season where we won the Champions League, Man United pipped us to the Champions League, didn't they? They finished above us. And then they looked like a little bit of harmony in their squad. They looked like they were building something. And then Ronaldo turned up and shattered that balance of that football club, that football team.
I'll bet you 20 quid that Ronaldo will want to go to Barcelona.
Imagine that, yeah. Imagine Ronaldo at Barca, my word.
I mean, everybody else seems to want to go there, so.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Ryan. How are you? Welcome along. Seymour says, Ake's good, but I feel Kounde is probably slightly better as he's younger and his player profile is decent for our defence. But once again, Seymour, he's being linked with Barcelona, isn't he? There's rumours that Chelsea... We'll skip to Kounde because he's obviously he's a defender. We're talking about defenders at the moment. So there's a rumour that Sevilla got the or they're getting sort of a bit wary of the fact that Chelsea have not made any moves of late because they're focusing on other targets at the moment, as well as Kounde. And Barca's in for him, apparently. So Barca's in for everyone, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? If you could try and sign someone as a mascot for the football club and Barcelona will come in and try and sign him. It's ridiculous.
It could be that Barcelona is just that's their kind of tactic to make everybody else lose their momentum in the transfer market. They're not going to sign anybody. They'll just want to F everybody up so that people nobody gets their original targets and everything gets swapped all the way around.
Great shout, Golly. Great shout. Every player willing to see for Barca. I want to have about Raheem Sterling. I don't they want him too? Brilliant. Ake's proved himself in the Premier League. Back to Nathan Ake. Barcelona wants our tea lady as well. Nathan Ake. I'll take him back. So I think he's a decent option, 100% decent. And I will take Nathan Ake back. So, but the thing is he's worth 50 million. I'm not so sure. Man City are not going to let him go for anything less than that. And if Chelsea need a centre back and it gets to a situation where they've lost, if they lose out on Kounde or de Ligt and the Juve are going to stick for 103 million release clause, and it's getting a bit sort of close to the season starting, I think Chelsea might just have to bite the bullet and pay 50 million to get Ake back. But I'd take Nathan Ake back 100%.
Yeah, it seems to me that the Chelsea community are kind of butthurt on getting him back and paying so much for him. It's kind of a embarrassing signing, you would say, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But I'm willing to trust that if Tuchel wants him and he sees something in him that we're not obviously seeing, then why not? But there is one talking point regarding Nathan Ake, and that is if we get de Ligt both Dutch defenders, and they are the future of that defense because Virgil van Dijk isn't getting any younger. So, so there will be a day when these two will be the Dutch defense. So
yeah,
and they would work together pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are talking about the fact that obviously, again, you've got the people are saying about De Ligt a little bit slow, maybe, and all this sort of thing. But the guy's 22, De Ligt, and people sort of forget that the age of him. I swear that's right. He's 22, and and apparently there's reports that he's impressed with the fact that that Thomas Tuchel got the best out of the likes of what's his name? That bloke who left us, Rudiger. That's his name. Yeah. Got the best out of him and people like that. So they're just talking about the fact that at the moment that Thomas Tuchel, people are very impressed with Tuchel when they speak to him. You hear the fact that Raheem Sterling was very, very impressed with Thomas Tuchel and the way he sold the club and the way he sold the plan. So and De Ligt as well. So whether or not Tuchel's actually spoken to De Ligt, we have to wait and see. But it looks as though Juve are probably easing their demands because De Ligt's made it clear he wants to go. So I'll take De Ligt and Ake either side of Thiago Silva. Excuse me, but don't forget, we still got Trevor Chalobah. We've still got Aspi that can play there if we need him. We got Reece James that can step inside and play as a centre-half. We've still got options at the football club, but we need to get at least two centre-backs in, whether it's De Ligt and Ake, whether it's De Ligt and Kounde, Ake. But it looks as though Kounde is getting a bit frustrated or severe. Whether we can get De Ligt to the price tag to come down, I guess we have to wait and see. But I'll take Ake 100%. But obviously there's Chilwell as well, who looks like he could possibly go out on loan. Let's see some more of these comments. So Comanche says, Levi needs a Premier loan. He signed a 5-year deal last year. It's a different situation in Gurhi. Ake is flexible in positions he can play. Not a dream signing, but a good player. So does that fall into does it fall into the situation where you want to bring players into the football club that create competition for places? Problem is, there is no competition for the place at the minute. So Ken says he'll pay for De Ligt and keep Chilwell as well. If De Ligt's coming regardless, then sure. Grant's asking me for my ideal window. You're going to hear that in just a second. As I say, I wouldn't take Raphinha. I wouldn't take Dembele. I'd definitely take Ake. But we'll get onto it anyway. But I'll take De Ligt as well. De Ligt's a leader as well, which is a good point. He is a leader. Kaboom says, if Chelsea sign Ake, then that'd be the worst decision. My gut feeling says Chelsea should go for Kounde and Koulibaly or De Ligt. Fair play. Just let me know why you think that way about Nathan Ake. So fair play. It's just an opinion, as I say. Just my ideal window is Velux. Chief has come up and said another name, Kimpembe, PSG. PSG are not are trying to keep him, but they're open to the idea of him going, apparently.
Yo, is the stream still?
Yeah, I'm still here. Are we still here?
Yeah, it works here. I guess it
was unstable. I don't know why it's unstable. It's all good.
It froze for a moment, but you're back on.
Yeah, we're back on.
Let me chime in for the Rudiger kind of.
Yeah.
We were giving it up on him after the Lampard season. We were like, this guy needs to go. Yeah, we need to sell him. I mean, he's not Chelsea level, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And look what happened to him. And we couldn't keep him. So I'm prepared not to take this approach where I'm not going to be super picky about if we get a Nathan Ake or if we get this or that, or if we get a Kounde, because a player might work out or Tuchel could just do his work and he could become the next best thing. Or it could fail miserably. I mean, you never know. And some players work, but the thing is that it always feels sweeter when you get a player and they develop in our club and not the other way around, where you buy for a horrible transfer fee. They come in with great expectations, and the moment they do their first mistake, it's all downhill from there. Uphill, basically. There's no way that they can I mean, it will be so hard for like a Dembele to make his mark in our club. It will be very hard for the other attacking players also. I mean, it just seems that if you grow into the position and if you grow into the team, it seems to work out better each time or most of the time. But yeah, that's like the Rudiger Rudiger case.
Yeah, the Rudiger situation. Yeah, less said about that, the better. He said that if it was either Real Madrid or nothing, but it was money at the end of the day. Let's just say that. Let's just say that and leave it there. Rudiger. Anyway, okay, so we've spoken about Raphinha, we've spoken about Dembele and Nathan Ake. So we're looking at Ligt and Kounde, the other two. So let's start with Ligt. Now, Ligt for me, I think is, as I say, he's young. He impressed at Ajax. He's definitely a presence in defence, which is always what you need. He's someone that that can read the game. He's physical, from what I can remember, and I think he's a good option. 103 million, I don't think he's a good option. I think that obviously that's the release clause, and I think that Chelsea are trying to negotiate. And the reports are, in relation to Matthijs Ligt, is that Chelsea offered Timo Werner, which is disappointing, but I can understand why if that does actually happen, if Werner does go. But I just hope it doesn't happen with Werner. But Ligt, I think he's definitely someone that can come in and playing alongside the likes of Thiago Silva. All you're going to do is learn, and you're going to learn. You're going to develop your game. Gary Cahill always spoke so fondly about John Terry playing next to John Terry, took his game to another level. Thiago Silva, whoever plays next to him, takes their game to another level with his experience, his leadership. And Ligt, I think, playing alongside Thiago Silva and learning from him, whereas he's been learning from Bonucci at Juve, I think is a great option, Ligt. And I'd go for him 100%. I wouldn't pay the 103 million. Chelsea might be backed into a corner if nothing happened before the beginning of the season. But I think Ligt is definitely an option. Kounde, I'm not too sure. I've not seen a lot about Kounde. He's been someone we've been after for a long time. Definitely a few windows. There's talk that it's 60 million or 65 million for him. So, you're talking about Nathan Ake. You're talking about Nathan Ake for 50 odd million. You're talking about Ligt, going to Chelsea trying to get him down to around about 80 odd million. And Timo Werner or maybe 70 million plus Werner. And then you've got, as I say, then you're looking at the likes of Kounde as well. So you're looking at spending big money. You're looking at possibly about 150 million, 160 million for 3 centre-backs to come in. Do we need 3 or is it just 2 we need? And I think it's just the 2. So whether it's going to be Ligt and Ake or Ligt and Kounde or Kounde and Ake, definitely need people in. I know Woodshedder, there isn't any mods. Well, is there any mods in? Any more mods in? Not sure. I got rid of it anyway. I'm not putting that up on my channel. Disgusting. Anyway, here we go. So Ken says Ligt and Ake's the pair because they need 2 defenders to come in, which is fair play. There we go. Silva made Rude look good, says Lee. Great shout as well. Was in the chat, exactly. So Ligt and Kounde. So for me, I think it's definitely got to be Ligt, and I think it's a toss-up between Kounde and Ake, and I think it's personal preference of the manager who he wants to go for. All we keep hearing all week is that he definitely wants Ake as well as Sterling, and now we're also now hearing that he's also looking at Zinchenko. So I guess we have to wait and see what's going to happen. But for me, it's got to be Ligt, and I'd say Nathan Ake. I don't know a lot about Kounde, and I think that Kounde, is probably being eyed by Barcelona now, and his head probably be turned as well. So Kimpembe as well. Grant, I just see Kimpembe Grant just put that question up. What about Kimpembe? Obviously got experience playing next to Thiago Silva. I think, from what I can remember watching PSG, Kimpembe, I think he's got a bit of an error in him. I might be mistaken, but I guess we have to wait and see. And of course, but the problem that you've got is it's silly season as far as transfers goes. Anyone that's played for Thomas Tuchel is going to be linked with Thomas Tuchel this summer because Chelsea have now got money to spend because the sanctions are lifted. So if Chelsea wanted Kimpembe, then maybe they'll be already onto it. and we'd already hear these rumours. We're only hearing about it now because PSG are willing to let him go. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But we're going to be linked with a whole host of people. Koulibaly. We're not going to sign Koulibaly. That's not happening. So, any centre back in the game at the moment we're being linked with of note, and I guess we have to wait and see. But yeah, what do we do if an Ampadu? I don't think he's a centre back though, is he, Jem? I don't think Ampadu is a centre back. What would you do in relation to Kimpembe, Woodshedder, and Ampadu, for that matter?
Well, isn't Ampadu like somebody who's in the conversation for like a defensive mid? If Declan Rice is not coming, and for Kimpembe, I haven't been paying attention to his game at all. Basically, I haven't seen him play except for in the Champions League if PSG's play. Usually, I'm pissed drunk when I'm watching football. So, I've just heard. If he knows how Tuchel wants to play, then that's fine. Like I said, I'm willing to give every player who comes in a clean slate, and I just wish the fan base would be willing to do that also, because you have to remember that this window will not solve all our problems. It will be like a starting point, a reset point, if you like. And then when the next windows come in, that's when you're going to see the data coming in. That's when you're going to see cheaper options, like players that won't cost as much, and we won't have to splash this much money if we just get the right player for our system that us fans have probably never heard of, but the data will find that out. But for now, we have this war chest from Todd Boehly, and we obviously have two defenders gone by now. Rudiger and Christensen. So we have to get the defenders sorted out. If we get Ligt and we get Ake, I'll be happy with that. But if we go to the midfield discussion, oh boy, that is a rabbit hole. I'd say that when preseason starts up, we can probably start to hear whispers and little noises about Kimpembe or perhaps Declan Rice, and we'll see how that turns out. But in the meantime, I'm perfectly happy if Tuchel gives what's the guy?
Who are you thinking of?
Yeah,
Colwell.
Colwell, a chance.
So it's out there, people. I've put my email address out there. If you want to join in on this stream on the chat and come and give your opinions, then you can do. Send me an email. I'll try and decipher those. But what I will say, people, if you do want to come on, no defamatory comments, no swearing, no racism, nothing like that. Nice and simple. Let's just talk Chelsea at the end of the day. So welcome along if you've just joined the stream. This Chelsea staff, welcome. Thanks for being here. It's a whole new situation with the platform that I'm using. We've got Woodshedder on, who's one of the regulars on the channel. And so, guys, we're talking transfers, and we've spoken about everybody else at the moment. Let's talk about the main man, it seems, this summer for Thomas Tuchel, and that is Raheem Sterling. And the reports are believed that Chelsea have agreed a deal with Man City. It's always going well, and the deal was pretty much done for £45 million for Raheem Sterling. And I think at 27, and at the fact that he's scored the amount of goals he's got and assists he's got, or actual telling contributions in game, I think that's an absolute steal. But the one thing that I will say, if Raheem Sterling is Chelsea's main target this summer, then it's obvious to me that we've now got Kai Havertz as the main man up front, the number 9. It's got to be number 9. Hi, Jane. Good to see you in. How are you?
Hi, Jane.
Jane's not very well.
Take it easy, Jane.
Yeah, go easy. Go easy. So if you want to get involved, people, then send me an email. It's in the chat there. Look for my post and then get in contact. Okay, so Let's just have a look on there. So let's just have a look on there. So here we go. Seymour says that his movement off the ball is absolute poetry. I believe you're talking about Raheem Sterling. Sterling will be a great signing, says Comanche. What do you think? What do you think with Chilwell and Sterling?
Yeah, I mentioned it before. I'm actually really warming up to Raheem Sterling. There's so many things about his game that could actually improve our squad. He's a leader, even though we don't really see that in the Manchester City games. But he is a leader, and there's one thing about Sterling as a person that makes this like something that gives me hope for his position, and that is, if you think of his life, he's been through hell. I mean, his family. I think his father got murdered when he was a little child, and if you, I won't get into it, but I mean, I don't know too much about it, but yeah, he's gone through stuff in his life that most people wouldn't have to go through, and he's risen to the level he is, and he's been shouted at. He's been he's had to deal with racist comments. He's had to deal with he's had to deal with bad spells and bad form in the England shirt, in Manchester City's shirt. He's had to deal that in the Liverpool shirt. And somebody with that experience coming to Chelsea is going to have an edge. He won't let our fan base. I mean, I can't see Sterling being like Timo Werner, where if he has a couple of bad games, then he wouldn't bounce back. Or I can't see like him being like a Lukaku who thinks it's all about himself. He's a professional, and I didn't particularly like him when in City, because he is kind of an annoying player. If you look at it from the outside, he gets a lot of penalties. He tends to dive. It's like when we played against him in the Champions League final. Remember that? So there was a couple of instances of that game where I was going like, oh, I can't swear. Sorry. Yeah. But you see what I'm. When he gets into the box, you're like instantly fearing like, is he gonna fall over? Is he gonna dive? Is he gonna make a contact and get a penalty? But I would welcome that in our team any day. I mean,
I mean, it takes you back to the whole diving thing. I remember when Didier Drogba first came to Chelsea, and he used to do it all the time because obviously he was doing it over in France. And he'd done it in front of the Matthew Harding, and he was getting dogs abuse from the Chelsea fans telling him to get up and get on with the game, and he couldn't understand it. And after that point, Drogba sort of stopped all that sort of nonsense. And I mean, Sterling, what you're going to get with Raheem Sterling is someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. He's quick. He's got a record in the Premier League that's there for everyone to see. I can't actually quite believe that Man City are going to let him go. Now, I know they've signed Haaland. I know they've signed him, and they've let Jesus go. They let him Sterling go. But I think Sterling, what he gives you, I think the problem is from looking from the outside in for me with Raheem Sterling, I can't understand why he didn't play more games for Guardiola. Now, I know obviously the emergence of Phil Foden has probably got a lot to do with that, but Raheem Sterling is someone that is a complete pain in the arse on the football pitch. He's someone that's quick. He gets in around your feet. He gets. He spins in behind. He's skillful. As I said, the thing with Sterling is that he's going to come here probably feeling like he's still got something to prove, really. And I love that. I love the fact that he's going to come to Chelsea with the fact that a fresh start away from Man City, and to I mean, not necessarily be a main man, but be a big-time player again. And I think he lost that at Man City. He was a big-time player for them. Now he isn't. And that fell away for the emergence of Phil Foden. And now because of Haaland's there, come and have a chance to be a big-time player for Chelsea. And I think he'll score goals, plenty.
I remember particularly that season when City won before Liverpool, I think. That's when Bournemouth was still in the league. It was actually Sterling that won the league for City that year, because, I mean, there were a couple of... I mean, Liverpool were... I think that was the season when they finished also 1 point behind City, right?
Yeah.
And Sterling actually scored some last-minute goals. I remember one game, it was against Bournemouth, and I was, of course, cheering up for Bournemouth, like hope Man City lose the game. But Sterling comes out of from nowhere and scores a screamer of a goal literally at the last second, really, at the Bournemouth Stadium, and that kind of repeated itself in one or two other games also. So those points that he was able to gobble up for City won them the league, in my opinion. And he was on fire that season. That was his best season.
Yeah. Hold on. My banner's not been working the whole time. Can you believe that? Dear me. Oh, my word. Okay, hold on. I've got to get my banner sorted. After all this, unbelievable. Okay, hold on. Got to do this. Hold on 1 second. So we think that Sterling's a positive signing, right?
Yeah. I've changed my opinion because, like I said, when watching Sterling in the England shirt or in a City shirt, you're like going, "Oh, please, no, just stay out of the box, keep out of the ball." But now when I think of it, I mean, if we had that player, and we would be just buzzing over him. Every time he gets the ball, he will be a threat. He will be a serious threat to the opposition defenders, and all the chances he creates. He's a great finisher. He will miss some chances for sure, but his mindset and he's headstrong, so he won't let that get to him. And that's also something you want to have in the team so that he can kind of share that with the other players, and he can kind of be an example to the others. I mean, imagine if Timo Werner was playing in the same team with somebody like a Sterling who would be this kind of example. Yeah. You can put the goal into the net one day and you can have 10 games without a goal, but I think Timo failed because he let it get to him and he never came back from that. But like I said, Sterling has been doing that since forever, really. I mean, wasn't he in the 2014 England squad in the Brazil World Cup? And
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah, he was in that World Cup. So he's played in the England shirt for a long time, and he knows what pressure is. I mean, in the England team and playing in the England team as a striker is like way worse than playing in a Chelsea striker.
Well, yeah. I mean, trying to get in the England team as a striker these days is awful because it's pretty much nailed on, isn't it? Harry Kane.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, England is lucky to have Harry Kane, but when he's not playing, it must be like a kind of daunting thing, because if you don't put the goals in, you're gonna get stick for it, and
yeah.
I just think we need a headstrong player like Sterling in the attack.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of good years in him, I'm sure, and we might actually get the best of him. Who knows?
This is a good point, actually, George. George has made a great point. People forget he got racially abused, didn't he, by the Chelsea fans? Well, by a couple of so-called Chelsea fans in the bottom of Matthew Harding in 2019. Now, and obviously that what happened to that afterwards and all that sort of thing. So it won't happen. I'm sure it won't happen. Unfortunately, you get some dickheads. Let's just say that are in the stadium and not necessarily sort of true Chelsea fans, but turn up on the day and just create problems. It's just stupid. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think if Raheem Sterling, well, it looks like it's going to be done. When Sterling signs for Chelsea, I think it's going to be positive. It's going to be great. And I think that he's definitely going to score goals. And it will push Kai Havertz into the middle as a number 9 for me. But it definitely makes a great shout here. We need to show Broja that we want him. He's going to be a monster. He's built his ability to turn. He doesn't care about contact. Now, Broja's going to be given an opportunity to impress. Now, there's talk that Broja, Newcastle want him. There's talk that West Ham want him. Obviously, Southampton still want him because they had him alone there last year. But I mean, Why not give him a chance? Why not give him, be it between him and Kai Havertz as the number 9 this season? Bring him in. Don't sell him. The guy's proven it. He can score goals in the Premier League. Southampton fans love him. So, let's give this guy a go. Give him a go. So, and Sterling will support from the outside. If Pulisic, it's either going to be Pulisic or it's going to be Werner that go. And Sterling from that left-hand side, supporting from there and cutting him from the left. It's exciting. For me, it will be exciting. And but yeah, I'd give Broja a go, 100%. 100%. Here we go. So Leeds has actually said that. Thoughts of Kai and Broja playing as a false 9, both proper number 9s. Do you think we're going to go false 9 this season? I'm not so sure we probably will. I think he'll play out-and-out striker. And I think Broja will play, because he plays as an out-and-out striker, I think. Even to you, Rich, how you doing? Inamasi says, how can you join this channel? Just subscribe. Simple as that. Welcome along. Thank you for being here. There's over 240 people in, which is great. Thank you, people. I really appreciate every single one of you being here. Welcome to the stream. We've got Woodshedder on. I'm looking for some more people to come and join as well and get involved.
Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button.
Thank you, mate. Smash the like button.
Here's a secret message for Ice Cold. There we go.
Ice Cold. Got another one. The Chels Daft pub is open, by the way, everyone. Cheers. Saturday night, 9:20. Hopefully you're all good.
Best company ever.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Thank you. Appreciate it. But this works much better, doesn't it, than Zoom?
It does, yes.
The Zoom was a little bit,
a
bit ropey, wasn't it? We did try it. But maybe what we'll do is, I'll try and get one of these done once a week, if I can, and then we'll try and get more. How can you encourage in the conversation? Just keep making comments on here. But it's there on the stream, on the ticker. Sterling's real deal says, Afalabi, how are you? Good to see you in. Let's have a look on here. Ivan again, Broja must be at Chelsea, giving the graduates a chance, Ampadu, etc. Motti says, I think Broja needs another season out on loan. Oh, okay. Is he going to help us close the gap? I'm not sure he's ready yet. Now, that's a great point, Motti. 100% great point. And it's all about pressure, isn't it? It's about pressure of leading the line for Chelsea in the Premier League, but also, I guess, playing the role that Thomas Tuchel wants people to play. Ice Cold's working in the office at the minute. You're working in the office on a Saturday. Fair play. Dedication. That's what you need.
Cheers, Ice Cold. Yes,
but not sure he's ready yet. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Because, let's face it, if we sign a number 9, they're going to come in and be the out-and-out number 9, and they're going to be the main man. And they've got all that pressure on their shoulders. And is he going to be someone that can deal with that pressure? Because no disrespect to Southampton, but it's different kept the fish playing for Chelsea as a number 9. Ian says, seems to me we need to replace Lukaku, Christensen, Rudiger and Aspi before we even start improving the squad with new signings. We already slow off the mark. I think we're slow off the mark because of the situation with the sanctions and obviously the consortium taken over. Had to have time to get the funds in place. And obviously, think of the change at the club with Buck going, Granovskaya going, Czech's gone. That was a bit of a shock and a bit of a shame, Petr Cech going. So I think they're working hard now, and that's the main thing to remember. I definitely agree with you. So we need to replace Lukaku, Christensen, Rudiger and Aspi. Aspi's still here, though. So I think they're going to try and keep him for another year and have a little gentleman's agreement to say, look, give another season and you can go.
Let me say from Aspi that if he would leave during this summer, it would be a tremendous shame because I was suspecting he might leave and there was rumors about it, but he never got a proper send-off. No. And that's what kind of makes me think that he's not going anywhere. I mean, surely Tuchel would give him like a Warriors send-off, like on the last game. Rudiger got a Warriors send-off, but Aspi is still like on the pitch and stuff. So that would be like a really
like the John Terry under Kante where he got taken off on the 26th minute.
That was beautiful.
where everyone
And
kicked off going, how can you do that? That's ridiculous. It's like, it's a tribute to the bloke. And
yeah,
and I think it was Sunderland we played and the opposition, and they agreed to it. So nonsense.
And that was not only a great gesture from our club, but it also showed respect to John Terry from the team that we were playing. Was it Sunderland or?
I think it was Sunderland. Yeah, I think it was Sunderland. From what I can know, it might not have been because they've been. I can't remember who it was. It was someone playing in the red shirt. I've got it in my head. I'm carrying him off. I'm not sure who it was, but it may have been them. But I get your point. So I think Aspie have the same thing.
And Aspie is, I mean, he's a warrior, but he's still a gentleman. He's somebody who's not he's not like a Rudiger who's going to wind up the opposition team, and he's not like a Ramos who everybody hates, and nobody would give him a respectful send off from the opposition team. I mean, I think Aspie is somebody that anybody in the Premier League would look up to and admire his achievements.
The model professional, as they say.
Exactly, professionalism. Players that put in the hard work, come to work early, and puts all on the field, puts everything, and is an example to all the others. That's what we need.
Yeah. And apparently, he's exactly the same on the training pitch. It's a fair play to Aspie. Fair play to him. So Ken says, we can't make hasty signings like we've done in the past. Broja's day till we find a proper number 9 after getting a DOF. DOF? DOF? What's that mean? After we get a DOF. Anyway, I'll get back to you on that. In Embassy says, why can't we give Loftus-Cheek a chance as well? I love his runs he makes. See, Loftus-Cheek, I think he's really... Loftus-Cheek last season was the big surprise for me because I thought he was going to struggle, if I'm honest. And trying to play as a number 10 because Loftus-Cheek, he does most of his work is, in and around the box sort of thing. But playing that deeper position and just being able to just do what he does when he's confident. And when he's confident, he glides across that football pitch. You think about how well Mateo Kovacic does in positions on the pitch where he collects the ball with people around him and he just one or two touch and he's gone and he's away. He goes around players and he turns defence into attack. And Loftus-Cheek does exactly the same thing. And Loftus-Cheek, I think, was outstanding for me. And I think Loftus-Cheek has pretty much cemented himself in that Thomas Tuchel squad going forward. There's a video of him today and Ben Chilwell, by the way, at Cobham training Loftus-Cheek and Chilwell today, which is good to see. Getting back to Broja, Lee says that he's a mate weight for Declan Rice, part of the deal. West Ham want him, Broja, and Declan Rice, I think, is someone that's gone very quiet when it comes to Chelsea and Chelsea's interest, but I think there's a registered interest there with Chelsea. And I wouldn't be surprised if out of the blue, a bid for Declan Rice possibly is in the offing and just happens. Whether that's going to be 60, 70 million maybe, plus a player, which could be Broja, but hopefully not, because I think Broja needs to stay. But Lee says he could be a make weight. And I do understand what you're saying there. I do see it, but hopefully not. MC, if we don't have depth in centre-backs and strikers, stick Cole and Broja in, and they'll put in a shift. Exactly. They come from the academy. They know what it means to wear the shirt. Put them in. Put them in the squad. Give them a go. Will they start, though? Would you put them both starting? Lee says, I think Wales want to be on defence midfield, so we look for right wingers and backups. I get what you're saying. Hank says, sign up Cristiano. If it was only that simple. Only that simple. Let's have a look at some more of these comments that are coming in. Hold on. Got to try and catch up. Jem says, Newcastle apparently are interested in Kepa. What are your thoughts? They can have him. Simple as that. I don't think he gets in the team now because Mendy's made that position his own. Woodcheddar, your opinion?
Yeah, he can go. He redeemed himself in my eyes. He became a professional, and I kind of forgive him for some of the mistakes, but it's not going to work out. He's playing second fiddle to Mendy, and he's never going to take that place for him.
No.
So
and I think he's probably at a place in his a time in his career when he needs to be playing first team football, isn't he? Really.
Yeah, exactly, and he's at the perfect age. He's had his biggest hit, his biggest slap in the face in his career at Chelsea. He's matured. He's trained hard. The next team he goes, he will. I'm certain he will succeed.
Yeah,
that will. Kind
He's
of
a good goalkeeper. He's a
Mm.
good goalkeeper, but it's a confidence thing. And I think, when he's confident, I think he's great. Marty says top players always take time to get over the line as contracts are very complicated. I think Todd's working miracles at the moment. Well, he is doing it on himself, isn't he, at the moment, apparently. Steve says, I think the Broja will be fine with the 5 subs. We can blood him slowly, the same as Chilwell and Gallagher. Do we think Gallagher's going to stay this season? Do we think he's going to stay in and be part of the football squad? I'm not sure. I think if Jorginho goes, I think Gallagher stays. And the reason I think Gallagher stays is because I think that Loftus-Cheek last season has done enough to give Thomas Tuchel confidence that he can play that deeper position with next to Mateo Kovacic. Can Gallagher play that deep position? That's the problem. I'm not sure if he can. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah. Let me tell you about Gallagher. I was keeping an eye on him the past season. I mean, I would watch our game, and after our game, I mean, if there was a Palace game on, or like earlier in the day, I would watch Gallagher play, put him on, and every time he would do something miraculous. Like I always put the telly on when like he'd score this great goal. If only that happens at Chelsea. I mean, if we had Gallagher play that pass or put in that goal in our horrendous season that it was, that would have solved a lot of things. But I think Gallagher has to start from scratch. He's in a new environment. I mean, he's in a familiar environment, as in Chelsea, Cobham, during the pre-season. But he's done that several times. He's tried to impress the manager. What I'm hearing is he did impress the manager, Tuchel, last season, but he couldn't guarantee him playing time, and the opportunity came along to go on loan. But you see, with Gallagher, he's already in the England team. He's going to want minutes, and he's going to want assurances. So I think there's also the possibility that he might opt for a loan himself, just to kind of make sure that he's going to get to that World Cup in Qatar.
That he gets first team football.
Yeah, but in Chelsea, he starts from scratch. He will have to kind of compete for his place, and that's where I'm kind of coming back to my previous point that I mean, I can't confirm this, but something is telling me that what Tuchel is trying to build is he will have a multitude of formations that's based on a back three, and the 5 subs is going to give him options and flexibility when it comes. I mean, he's going to face teams that will park the bus, and they will, and he's going to need a certain profile of attackers to kind of get through that, and that, of course, can be a totally different story if we're playing like a Liverpool on the next week. So what I think will happen is that if Gallagher stays at Chelsea, he's going to be a rotational player. He's not a guaranteed starter in my eyes. I love the player to bits. I really think he's special, but he's got a lot of players in front of him, but he will get minutes, and that's where I kind of hope that he'll be able to have a good attitude, and all the players that like Tuchel needs to kind of build this environment where everybody is special, everybody is needed in the team, everybody brings something, and nobody's there just for show or just for whatever. And that's not going to happen in one window. It never does. Like I said, it's going to be a rebuild window. Once we get to January next season, we won't be like putting as much transfer money as we are putting now. No. It will be that's when the data is starting to come in, and we will get these mature players that fits the model and fits the data, because that is basically the Liverpool model. They won't spend like a big Van Dijk like kind of transfer every year, every window, but they will be able. They will do it if they feel like it is a necessary signing to make. Whereas Chelsea, we've been signing, their new shining car every season, because we always seem to have a new manager in. We always want, and so we have a mess to sort out. Tuchel has already had a big mess to sort out, and he did a great job.
He's done a great job so far, isn't he?
Yeah, but that is a long process. That is a lot of work to do to make a squad that Chelsea has happy, make everybody happy, let everybody get their minutes, let everybody feel like they're part of the team and useful for the team, and build something that we had when we won the Champions League, when we had unity, when everybody was backing each other, when everybody was there for each other. We were scraped through the mud during the last Lampard games, and we were kind of embarrassed to a point where everybody, or the players, wanted to play for the badge and prove for themselves that they belong into this team.
Down tools. Yeah.
I just wish we would have that all season, like from the get-go, and that you don't need like a really bad spell at this club to sort of pump you up and make you kind of feel that now is the time to play for the shirt. Yeah, but yeah, Gallagher, I was going on a tangent, but yeah, Gallagher is not going to be a guaranteed start in my eyes.
Okay. But Indefinite makes a great point, exactly what you said. What I think is we need players who sacrifice the badge again. That's what makes the difference as a fan. It does. And Jem's added to that. He thinks that Connor's obviously Chelsea through and through. That's the thing, is you want players that fight, that players that literally go, they know what it means to play for Chelsea. Remember when Frank Lampard took over, the first thing he said was, I want players here to feel Chelsea, to feel what it is to be a Chelsea player, to wear the shirt. And that's the thing, and that's what you want. And this is why we talk about Raphinha. He's like, okay, Chelsea, you make me an offer, but I just want to see what Barcelona want to do. It's like, no, bog off. Like, if you either come here because you want to come here. If you don't, then that's it. We pull out. Done. And you need people that are Chelsea through and through, or not necessarily Chelsea through and through, but that have got a desire to play for Chelsea. Chelsea are a different club now than what they were when Abramovich first took over. We're globally recognised as one of the biggest clubs there is. We're 2 times Champions League winners. We're the only team in London that's won the European Cup. So we're up there. The amount of trophies we won in the Abramovich era, and it's going to kick on as well under Todd Boehly's regime, no doubt. So why not? Why do you not want to come to Chelsea? If Chelsea come in and say, look, we're interested in you under Thomas Tuchel, I don't understand why people just go, well, again, as I said to you before in the beginning, I think the Barcelona thing, Real Madrid thing, it's like a reputation and perspective thing. It's Barca, it's Real Madrid, and I think that still stands to a degree with certain players. But I just think that we need players that want to come and play for the shirt. We want players that are keen to come to this football club and work hard, get their head down, work hard, give everything for the shirt. Because as the comment says, that's what Chelsea fans want to see. Simple as that. You give everything for a shirt, and the result doesn't go your way, then we accept that. It's when you just completely down tools and just give up. Royland, thank you very much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Appreciate that. Thank you. Seeker, have a look at my thing. Come and email me if you want to come and jump on. MCIG, same as you. Also, some of the guys that have been posting up Indefinite, come and join in. Lee Rose as well. Come and join. Come and say hello. Jane can't, she's not very well. You see this? That's my point. Sicario says, you've got to understand, South American players grew up loving those 2 clubs. You've got to recognise that. And I think that's exactly what it is. Here we go. Getting back to Comanche. Centre-backs and wing-back covers what we need. If we sign Sterling, I'm pretty happy up front and midfield. Si, how are you? Good to see you in. We have been talking about it. We can do it. We can do it again. I'll take Nathan Ake back 100%. I think it'd be a great signing. I think I'll take him over Jules Kounde. I know Kounde's probably younger, but I think Ake's got Premier League experience. And I think you put Nathan Ake in his left foot next to left-hand side of Thiago Silva with hopefully Ligt on the right-hand side. And I think those three will form a good sort of defensive unit for me. And I think that'll be perfect. Let's have a look at some more of these comments. So welcome along, everyone. This is the stream. We've been going for an hour and 35 minutes so far. I did say till 10. We'll just see how it goes. Darren says, Chelsea should keep the young players. There's no Liverpool model. Barcelona model have the best player on the planet come through your academy. Chelsea Academy is paying kids £40,000 a week. Who is that? I haven't seen that before. I'm not aware of that. Ake would be terrible. Darren, you've got a lot of opinions. You've got to give a reason as to why you think it's going to be terrible. Robert says the Real and Barcelona thing is the same as F1 drivers and Ferrari. No matter how bad they are at the minute, it's a dream to drive one. That's a great shout. That's a good analogy and a great shout, by the way. So Jeromeo says, why are we so slow with this transfer window? I think we've covered that. I think just take things into consideration. The fact that we had as I said, the sanction had to be lifted, the whole transfer, the funds for consortium, all these changes have to be done. Chelsea are working hard. And remember, the transfer window is open until September, beginning of September. So we got plenty of time. Jen agrees with me, or it just agrees with it was somebody else I said that got something to prove. But it was Nathan Ake, wasn't it? No, it was Sterling. I get mixed up. Nathan's still got something to prove at Chelsea, Nathan Ake. That's a fair shout. Is there anybody else we should be looking at signing, do you think, Woodshed, this summer?
Yes, I was about to come to that. Did you see that England game where we lost to Hungary? Or you lost? I mean,
no.
You don't watch
I have to be honest. I give up. Give up
Okay.
watching England. But yeah, go on. Carry on.
We were linked with that Hungarian defender last January, or actually last, I think, October, March, like when the winter transfer window was coming up, we were being linked with some defenders. Well, his name was Attila or something. Like, he had this warrior name. And I watched that game and I thought to myself, why are we not linked to this guy anymore? What happened to that? Is that because the new the takeover, or what is it? But I'd take him in a heartbeat. Maybe just Tuchel doesn't fancy him or something.
Yeah, I think the problem that you got is that if you bring players into the Premier League from other countries and you hope they're going to hit the ground running, and sometimes the shock, is shock the right word? The Premier League, the quality of the Premier League, how quick it is, how physical it is, how demanding it is. Then, but yeah, here we go. Comanche agrees with you. Good shout. He plays in Turkey. I didn't see him, I have to say. But people forget as well, we've got Xavier Mbema, haven't we, in the academy? The guy that we got from Barcelona. The youngster, the young Dutch signing that we got a couple of seasons ago, was it? He's there. Chilwell's still there, as I said. So, I mean, we've got options coming through. It's just typical for Chelsea, though, isn't it? At the end of the day, if you think about how 2 seasons ago we had Tomori, Gurhi, all sitting there in the academy waiting for a chance, or to come in, and they were played. Or Tomori was played by Lampard, and then we decided to get rid of them. And then what happens the following summer? Literally end of that same season, Christensen goes, his head gets turned, and Rudiger goes. It's just typical,
that is just ridiculous.
It's absolutely typical.
Yeah,
absolutely
it is.
typical.
Can I just give out a Barcelona banter?
Yeah.
You remember when Neymar played for Barcelona and that Liverpool midfielder, what was his name? Who returned to Aston Villa now.
Coutinho.
Yeah, Coutinho wanted to leave Liverpool. Liverpool wasn't the Liverpool it's now.
No.
Liverpool was building under Klopp, and Coutinho wanted to go to Barcelona because his best mate Neymar plays there. And what happens? They pay a ridiculous transfer fee. He goes to Barcelona, and they play together for half a season or something. Neymar then packs his bag to PSG, and he becomes this flop. I mean, so Barcelona, they do their business 10 times worse than we do. I mean, their scouting department is just truly horrible. And if they purely rely on these players that just want to come to, or these big names always seem to want to come to Barcelona, then they have that for them. But yeah, it hasn't worked out for them either. So
no, and that's the thing. Neymar left Barcelona because he got the because he realised he wouldn't win the Ballon d'Or, and that's Neymar's dream, is to win the Champions League and the Ballon d'Or. And he was never going to do it at Barcelona with Messi there, so he goes to PSG. What happens a couple of seasons later? Messi turns up at PSG, which is, I mean, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, but Neymar, I mean, he linked with him as well. Today, he's triggered an automatic. He's triggered this part of his contract, 5-year deal at PSG till 2027. Honestly, but yeah, I do get your point in relation to Barcelona. But again, we're reading they've just sold their TV rights for 170 million. They've now got money, so Dembele is going to probably sign a new contract. They're in for Raphinha. They're probably in for Joules Kounde. So let's just see what happens. And again, it is the law of Barcelona, because it's Barcelona, but it's a different Barcelona now. It's not your Messi Barcelona. It's not your Xavi Iniesta Barcelona, which was just like probably the best club side you've probably ever seen. But you know, they still got a bit of a law to them. So let's have a look on here. Some of these. Hold on, let's look at some more of these comments. I'm just trying to catch up with the comments as we've been talking, people. So we were there. Nathan Ake's got something to prove. Darren said, Chelsea have got a great academy, give the kids a massive contract. Rogan says, will we lose Pulisic this season? I think it'll be Pulisic or Timo Werner. I can't see both going, especially if Hakim Ziyech goes. But we have to wait and see as to who comes in. Let's just have a look on here. Meriville says that all I keep hearing is Tuchel loves this player. Chelsea is interested. Are we interested FC now? It's a great shout, isn't it? It's a great shout. Merville, is that how you pronounce your name? What I'd say is this, is when the summer transfer window comes into effect, or the winter window as well, players' agents come in, they just spring to life. And what they do, they think, right, I'm going to try and get a better deal for my player because I know they want a better deal, or try and move them on elsewhere, and you know, because they want to line their pockets. And these people that put these stories out or links to players, little messages go out to the media bites on it, and all of a sudden there's this big rumour going around, and it unsettles players. And when players become unsettled, the clubs try to think, if this is a player that's important to us, want to try and keep him. What can we do to keep him? Let's give him more money. If they give him more money, then what happens? The agent gets a cut of that deal. If they get a move elsewhere, the agent gets a cut of that as well. So there's a lot of just crap that comes out in transfer windows. And you have to be, when you look at the players that Chelsea link with, you just have to look at it and go, is that realistic or not? So I guess we have to, you have to look at it and just think, Chelsea, are we interested in FC in this particular player? Probably not. Like I say, Raphinha, obviously we were, but the situation is that he wants to hold out for Barcelona, so fair play. Let's have a look at some more of these comments as they come through. Welcome along, people. If you just joined, smash the like button for me. Come and say hello in the chat. And if you want to join and jump on with myself and Woodshedder, then by all means do. Normally, it's just going to be for channel members going forward, but today it'll be for anybody that wants to come and join. But if you start getting a bit silly, I have to take you off. Hopefully you won't, because you want to be decent and talk football with me. So let's have a look on here. So Jem says, is Emerson still a Chelsea player? I think he is, but wasn't it a 2-year deal he went away on to Lyon, wasn't it? I think he went to Lyon on a 2-year contract, a 2-year loan. I think, possibly. Let's just have a look here. Let's put them in conversation amongst themselves, which is fair enough. Robert says, what do I think of this year's kit? Has it officially been released yet, or is it still the draft? I'm not so sure. I think it looks all right. I think it's quite smart. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg to put it up here. Hold on. Got to work out. I mean, there, up there. Chelsea kits, by the way, people. When I got this and I got that. And last season's away shirt as well. What they do now, these football clubs, bless them. I love my Chelsea football club. I love Chelsea. I've been born and raised in the area. I've been at Chelsea going to Chelsea since 1980 when I was 6. That's what I'm saying. But you go to the club shop now to buy a Chelsea shirt, and you've got 2 levels of Chelsea shirt as well. I've got a private chat. Yeah, no worries. Which I had no problem. And what you've got is you've got a match day shirt and you've got a replica shirt. So back in the old days, you used to walk into a club shop, see the shirt and think, I'll buy that. But now you've got a match day shirt. The match day shirt is similar to what the players wear. 120 quid it was for a shirt. I didn't get the match day shirt. I got the replica one, which that was bad enough. That was 70 quid. Anyway, but the new shirt I think is smart. But the problem that you've got is that these companies, I mean, Nike, for example, some of the dross they've come out with since they took over, awful. But this one looks quite smart, I have to say that. Sicario says he's watching, the Liga president says he's watching closely now how Barcelona move around the little money they have. They've got to pay debts off. Fair play. Rodrigo, big up to you as well. How you doing? Good to see you in. Lee, do you want to come and join? Come and get involved, mate. Email me. Let's just have a look at some more of these. Some more comments. Get involved in the comments. Welcome along, everyone. We're talking Chelsea transfers live from myself. Woodshedder's back. Good to see you back, mate. It's no worries. No problem. If you need to just step away, it's all good. Comanche, I agree with you. I prefer the Adidas kits. I have to say, I prefer the Adidas ones. What about yourself? Have you seen the new new kit? Is it a mock-up or is that now the actual confirmed kit? What do you think, Woodshedder?
I don't like it. I don't see it growing on me. You know what? Last season when we had the last kit that we had, people were complaining that it had this Croatian kind of graphic going on, like yeah. And people were giving stick for that kit, and it wasn't getting a lot of love. I liked that kit instantly, and seeing us play this season, I always liked it. And people stopped complaining about that kit at some point, and I think the fans eventually grew onto it. Yeah. But we'll see what.
I'm with you. I thought when I first saw the kit, I was just like, oh my God, what is that? I mean, how does that represent Chelsea? It's like, really? But it does grow on you, I have to say. It did look smart. But
because when you look at that kit, like I remember when Tomori fired his first Chelsea goal, that was great. I mean, you can't see that twirly and twirly Croatian kind of pattern going on the kit when you see the players from the camera angles that you see. It's only like when you really zoom into the player that you can see all that detail. So I like Chelsea kits when they have a little bit of yellow in them.
Yeah.
And having that, that's the one that that's what I like in a Chelsea kit, when it has a little like blue and yellow. I like that 70s look, right? Even though I wasn't around them, but I've seen the kits.
The 1984 home kit was the best you've ever had. 1984 home kit. Wow. Let's see if I can bring that up.
But this kit, the current kit that we're having is not really promising. I'll tell you that. It kind of looks like something that you'd wear when you go to a job application, or
yeah. It looks Oh, there we go. Oh wow. The 1984 home kit. Can I share my screen? Let's have a look. Can I share my screen? Hold on, share screen. Oh, hold on. We got somebody else who's joined. Mehdi,
Hello, can you hear
how
me
are
well?
you? I've got you.
Welcome.
How are you, mate?
Hi, first
Welcome
time
along.
here. Thank you for having me, and please pardon the accent, as
No,
English
you're all
is not
good.
my first
You're all good,
language.
mate. You're
Sorry.
all good. I appreciate the fact that you wanted to join
Thank,
in.
thank you very much. So about the transfers, I'd like to share my opinion with I think that in terms of the number 10's positions, in terms of profile of players beyond the names, I think that we simply need more dribblers in those positions, or at least players who are technically better. Because when I think about our players, the one who played in those number 10 positions, the one who had the best performances this year, between all those players, if we take them in their best form, I think maybe Pulisic has, like when he's on top of his game, is one of the best up there. But the other ones, not really, because they struggle to control the ball, to dribble past their direct opponent, and don't forget those are those are positions when you get the ball in very tight spaces. So
But of course, but also you get the ball, you're back to goal, and
yeah,
when you,
that's
because you're facing the play. So when like Hakim Ziyech, for example, as I said earlier, he likes to pick up the ball when he's side on, like he's at the sideline, or he's sort of facing side on. He can see the whole pitch in front of him. He can see the ball coming to him. He can see defenders coming to him, and he's got a picture in his mind. So as a number 10, you're playing with, you're literally facing your players, and you're saying, "Give me the ball." And as you said, they haven't got space. They're getting hit straight away, and that's the problem.
agree. That's why I think like players these of the Ziyech or Mahrez type. If you think of Mahrez as a dribbler, for example, he would struggle in those positions. Cut his type of dribbling, like, is it the same as the Hazard, for example? Like Hazard could pick the ball, his back behind the goal, so like his back facing the goal, and he could control it and go with it. I think Dembele would do the same thing. But I'm not too sure. The reason why I don't like the Sterling transfer, beyond like if he will do well or not, it's a little bit about ambition, and not saying that we want the exciting signing or something like that, but it's really about taking chances. When I think about the Sterling transfer, I think about the Pedro transfer, for example. Like, Pedro was a good signing for Chelsea. He wasn't half bad, but he wasn't a very good signing, if you get what I mean. Like, you're signing the player that you saw, that you're hoping to get the exact performances that he produced for his past club, but you're not seeing a great potential or a higher ceiling, let's say.
I see what you mean. Like coming towards the end of his career.
Yeah, and if you don't take those chances with these transfers, then I'm sorry, but we're not going anywhere. Because in the Sterling transfer, like, what's the best we can hope for? Like, that he reproduce maybe the best season for Man City. Like, that's the higher ceiling, and that's even a bit of a stretch. But let's say that he can achieve that. Like, I wouldn't be willing to invest £50 million on a player that has only 1 year left on his contract, just so I can get a player that Man City wouldn't even play regularly last season. So
I think
hesitant.
Meki, I think the thing is, if Raheem Sterling puts the ball in the back of the net for Chelsea, that's what we've been lacking. You think we've been lacking Lukaku's sort of. I mean, he showed loads of promise beginning of the season. Then obviously had his big injury with Timo Werner, come back, sort of fits and starts, and we were struggling for goals. We've been struggling for goals for 2 years. Raheem Sterling has scored over 100 goals for Man City. He's got, I think it's like 160 odd involvements, including assists. If he can bring that to Chelsea, then and add goals and assists and stuff like that, and he's 27. There's a report of a 5-year contract on the table. Bring him in, and if he can do that, if he can make these, it's different to what you said about Pedro. Pedro was at the point where, he was probably past his ultimate best, but he still made a good contribution for us, and he still, when he was called upon. I get your point, not over consistently over time,
Yeah.
But he made an important contribution, which is the main thing. So if Sterling can come in and make a massive contribution for Chelsea and score goals, that's the difference. We've been looking for that for 2 years. So
yeah, like if we sign Sterling, he's basically going to play the role that Werner is expected to play. That's like the exact same thing, like making runs beyond the defense line and attacking spaces. But don't forget that like Sterling first touch is to be desired. It's not the best, and him missing a whole lot of chances is a concern as well. So he's not like he's this clinical player that we lack.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah. Do you think it's a confidence thing though? Surely. I think it's confidence. I think every position is confident. As a goalkeeper, if you have a bad game and make a mistake, your confidence is hit. The same as playing as a defender.
Yeah.
Midfielders probably not so much, but strikers as well. What should I see them, mate? Hold on. Yeah, I've seen that. The Hungarian defender. Yeah. Zalai, that's the one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Attila Zalai, however you pronounce that. He was immense in that game. And that was the only opportunity that I got to watch him. Actually, when England started just being all over the place, I just started to keep an eye on him.
Yeah,
he was really impressive.
Darren's gone from the chat, people. So, Mehdi, who would be your main signing you want to see at Chelsea this season?
Well, for me, the main signing in defense or in attacking position.
Your main one. So what's the most important for you?
I think the most important one would be either Ligt or Koulibaly, like one of them. I don't think we'll get both, but like the one of them that we will get, that will be the main man for me.
Yeah.
Like I really wish that we go for Koulibaly, because I think that this guy has been underrated for years. Like even with his high status, like if you watch him regularly with Napoli, like he's really, really talented, especially on the ball. Like he gets underrated. Like that part of his game gets massively underrated. And like the same thing about Sterling is what I'm gonna say about Ake. Like you get what I mean. Like in the general sense, like beyond the analysis and the player profile, it's about ambition, really. Like when you spend like 40 or 50 million pounds, even in today's market, like you want to sign a player that has a higher ceiling, that at least like can get to that level. Like if, for example, this comparison with Raphinha and Sterling, like I do get your point that maybe Sterling would work better for us, but if Raphinha like clicks for us, then he'd be like a much better player than Sterling. Like that's my conviction.
Yeah, see, I think Raphinha would click for us in a 4-3-3 as playing as a winger, playing as a front three. I think Raphinha would be great. I think Hakim Ziyech would be great. We don't play that formation, and that's the problem. I think Pulisic would be great, but we don't play formation. So
like it's. I don't think we can really play in 4-3-3 with our midfield. Like it's really tricky. It's our midfield and our center defense as well, because I don't believe that Thiago Silva is really that good in the back four. Like I know that all Chelsea fans say that Thiago Silva is imperial and an excellent defender, an elite defender, but he does make some mistakes. Like sometimes he does back down from making challenges, because he's not confident enough in his physical abilities. So he does allow a lot of space and a lot of shots from outside the box. That's something that I noticed. So in back four, that would be really costly, especially if you have like Reece James and Ben Chilwell like bombing and overlapping, because that's what Ziyech or Raphinha would need, those positions. So that will leave us, in great danger, especially that we don't have the sitting DM. So
I think he's gonna. Like I said, I think he's gonna stick to the back three, and I think if you put Thiago Silva next to Ake or Kounde and Ligt, I think it'd be perfect for me. That's what I think anyway. I do
Can I
take your
chime-
point about
Can I
him.
chime
Yeah,
in
of course
here?
you can.
Real
Jane,
quick?
by the way, bye, Jane. By the way, hopefully you
Jane.
get over COVID.
Bye. Bye, man.
But yeah, we'll chat it over to you.
Yeah, about Thiago Silva. I saw a comment about Aspi when we talked about Azpilicueta that he's been making horrific mistakes recently, and they've been getting more frequent. And there's no way that he's coming back from that next season. That could be the case. I mean, he perhaps he's not meant to play the big minutes. Obviously, he's going to want minutes because there's a World Cup coming up. But same goes for Thiago Silva. I mean, sometimes he might make a mistake, but he gives something else to the team that you just can't buy with money. And that is the example, and especially with Thiago Silva being here one more season together with Aspi would mean that we have two senior players, even though they didn't put the minutes, but they would be grooming the next generation that we want to take their places in. That is something that is worth their paychecks, even if they only play here and there. So I'm in with you there. Thiago Silva will start. I mean, it's expected, of course. He won't be playing like he did 5 years ago. But Thiago Silva is somebody who is smart, and he knows how to be one step ahead of the attacker. He
can read the game.
Yeah, he can read the game so well. It's like was the legendary Italian defender Baresi. Yeah, Franco Baresi. He was somebody who could overcome his shortcomings by being a step or two ahead of anybody else on the pitch, and he was always in the right place at the right time. Of course, with Thiago Silva, even though he's like age, he still improved. Like the first season under Frank Lampard, when he did that awful mistake. Look what he did after that. He came back from that, and he learned from that, and he overcame that, and he got to a level where you have to play him every week. But there will come a time where it's it will be a liability to use Aspi and Thiago Silva depending on who we're playing. But it's still, I see the value of keeping Aspi and Thiago Silva strictly for the reason that they will help transition the next crop of players and show and if we're getting somebody like a Ligt and an Ake and if we're getting these kind of people in, then
sorry if I may, like in terms of profile of the center backs, like what Thiago Silva excels in is his reading of the game, obviously, and his first touch is the one of a midfielder. Like he always gets in the right clearance, always like doesn't lose the ball, immediately send it to a counter to offensive transition. That's his main thing. And I think that's De Ligt strength as well. So if we get De Ligt, I see him as the direct replacement for Thiago Silva. And the other two center backs must be exactly like the profile of Rüdiger. That means a lot of pace, a lot of aggressivity as well. So it's mainly a physical game, and the minimum of technical capacities as well.
Yeah.
So
like you say, centre backs these days got to be able to play because Chelsea play the ball out from the back, so they need to be able to. They've got an ability with their feet. They like you said, more like midfielders. But yeah, I mean the Rüdiger thing for me, the aggressiveness channel it in the right way is great. I think for him, just there was times where like I said, I keep saying it, when there was a ruck on a pitch, he wanted to be involved and. He'd do that lunge where he just dives in and just, so I think what's important for Chelsea right now, for me, for Thomas Tuchel and his squad right now, is that you need experience, but you need leaders. And there's not that many leaders in football these days. You look at football teams, you look at Arsenal, how many leaders have they got in their team? you look at Tottenham. Okay, they're making a lot of signings, but what actual how many leaders have they got in their team? Leaders, people of experience are just they're literally you can't buy it. And I think Thiago Silva's experience, Azpi's experience now. I mean, even looking at the likes of Kante, what he's won in the game now, Kovacic's the experience of Real Madrid and this sort of stuff, and at Chelsea, players of experience will always be of a benefit to a team. But if you bring in Ligt, who's 22, and Ake, next to Thiago Silva, I just think that would be perfect for us. But I mean, Wood should have made the point earlier about Olivier Giroud and the fact that his attitude. He'd been there, done it as far as football's concerned. But he came into Chelsea, had the right attitude, wanted to work hard, got disappointed by not playing now and again, or not playing as the main striker initially, but kept working hard and forced his way in, and that's what you want to do. So, and I think that whoever comes in has got to buy into the Tuchel way. I think they've got to buy into this work ethic and hopefully take us forward, because that's what we want at the end of the day.
I'm sorry if I may ask you, please. So in terms of the centre backs position, who would you want there? Because in the middle of the park, I would like Thiago Silva, or for me at least, his replacement would be Ligt. They'd be rotating for me in terms of profile, because I don't think that Ligt can play on the RCB position.
Yeah, okay.
I think Chalobah would be perfect there.
Yeah.
At least for next season. But on the left-hand side, it seems like would be going for Nathan Ake, but I'm really not convinced with him. So who would you like to see there?
Because what you have to remember as well, I guess, is somebody's putting on the chat, and Gvardiol, obviously the Hungarian player, Zala, who's only 20, he's 24, by the way. Somebody asked in the chat how old he was. He's 24. You've got the options. What you forget is we've got the option of Azpi to come across and play as a centre-back. We've also got the option of Reece James to play as a centre-back. So if you only signed one player, one centre-back this summer, Ligt, he can play on the left-hand side, Ligt, Thiago Silva, Reece James, or Azpilicueta until the January window, and hopefully then go again. Chelsea have got options, Chalobah as well. Chalobah's there. As we talk about, Colwell's there as well. So I think if Chelsea definitely need to make a big signing as centre half, and hopefully it will be Ligt. And then, like I say, we've got options.
Sorry, don't you think, guys, we should go all in for Bremer instead of Ake or Koulibaly? It'd be the perfect signing. He's a really great defender. If you watch
how much is that going to
last
cost?
season.
How much do you think you can come in for?
It's gonna cost 40 or 50 million euros. What's it, 35, 40 million pounds? Because I really believe that Juventus would go for him if they sell Ligt to us.
And that's the thing, though. If you think about it, so Juventus are not going to let Ligt go until they've got a replacement in. So pretty working on it already. Yeah,
that's why I really don't know why Chelsea wouldn't go for Bremer all in. He's been the best defender in the Serie A last season.
I don't know much about him, I'll be honest with you, but I'll take your word.
No, he's by far at least last season he had by far the best season in terms of centre backs.
Oh, okay. See, Motti agrees with you as well. He says Bremer would be his choice as well.
Yeah, he's really impressive, especially on the ball. And still, even in a team like Torino, who aren't title favorites, he still stands out that team. So yeah, he's really impressive. Yeah, and he's Brazilian, so Thiago Silva can help him maybe integrating.
So so we definitely need somebody at the back. I think we could cope with one, hopefully Ligt, until January maybe, and then look at what's happening with people's contracts expiring at the end of next season, who then can talk to clubs in January. But hopefully we'll get two in, and then obviously we're then looking at going forward and what's going to happen. But Sterling's going to be done, 45 million. As for other players, we have to wait and see. But we've not spoken about Oleksander Zinchenko, who is another one that apparently so if you look at the situation, so as we know, Marcos Alonso apparently has told Chelsea he wants to go this year. He wants to leave the club, apparently. So that's all well and good because he's great going forward, Alonso. He makes telling contributions in the final third in opposition half, but as far as defensively, always not been the best. So they're looking at Zinchenko. So would Zinchenko, for you, be an ideal signing to come in and give a competition for Ben Chilwell, or do you think he'll come in and be regarded as he was at Man City, the same as a backup?
I think if Zinchenko comes to Chelsea, we will see almost like the same mistakes as Marcos Alonso does. Because Zinchenko, when he came to Man City, like he used to play as an offensive central midfielder. He was a cam essentially, who played at left back, and still today we see huge lacks in his game because of that. So defensively, he's really not reassuring. And I think that in Tuchel's formation, like the wing backs need to be like rear wing backs, or left or like full backs, but converted, but not winger and converted. Like we've seen that with Hudson-Odoi, we've seen that with Pulisic. I would expect the same from Zinchenko, because when I look at him play for Man City, I don't see a fullback in him. I see an offensive player who's like adapting to that role. Maybe he had some brilliant games here and there, but still, like he doesn't have the attributes of a fullback. So it's really scary for me if we get him. Like it would be like having Alonso in there in terms of defensively, at least.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Something is telling me that there's, Zinchenko and some of these strange targets that we are having. The Tuchel has plans that we are not seeing coming. But Zinchenko is somebody that usually, if you watch City play, they don't start him. He's not a guaranteed starter. So, but each time he does come in, I get this vibe like he's a very disciplined player, like somebody who's not going to cause trouble, who's taking Pep Guardiola's advice and coaching and everything, and really pushing himself to and putting in an effort to be a big cog in the machinery. So. And that's precisely what I mean, that if Tuchel is seeing something, or if he has a plan B or a plan C, something that we are not really prepared to even discuss here, obviously, then who am I to say that why not? So would he be competing with Ben Chilwell? I can't see that happening, but we do need players in that position too. So
in terms of game plan as well, like the fullbacks of Manchester City, they tend to, like in the build-up phase, they tend to tuck in the center of the field, like not exactly like what Chelsea does when they like open up the field at first and they hug the line. At least like Ben Chilwell and Reece James do. So I won't really count on him, really. Like even offensively, like I'm not that confident in Zinchenko if he plays for Chelsea. But I don't know. It's just
I wonder if he could be seen as someone that can move in and play as a centre back, left-sided centre back.
Oh, that would be dangerous for us.
Maybe, yeah. The thing is, everyone's got mistaken him though. So just putting it out there.
Like even Aspi on RCB, like I don't think that he has the right like player profile, but he does his best because one-on-one, like he's one of the best defensively. But in terms of profile, like the Rudiger profile is the ideal one. That's why Rudiger flourished on that role, not because he's a better one-on-one defender than Aspi, but it just suits him better. That's it.
Yeah. So here's let's change subject completely. So there was a comment that came up earlier by Grant, and he said this: What was your happiest moment as a Chelsea supporter in the chat? And I just thought, so what was your Woodsheller? What was your happiest moment as a Chelsea supporter?
Winning the Champions League for the second time. That was the greatest moment of last year. But of course, you share the same sentiment as I do. Of course, for different reasons.
Yeah.
But you've been a Chelsea fan way longer than I have. I consider myself a new Chelsea fan. You could call me like an international fan, which is not a nice thing, but I was
Chelsea fans are Chelsea fans. Doesn't matter where you come from, how long you've been supporting.
Yeah, let's just say that watching the Premier League, like a full season of Premier League, you would have to have a satellite, and you'd have to have like a digibox with a card system that supports the football channel service that they provide you. That was like the thing, like in 2010, like in those days before the streaming services took over. So it was really hard to like watch a full season, and for me, I watched Champions League, like that was like aired on our national TV. So I watched Chelsea in the Champions League and all the other teams. And in my country, there is a big Liverpool following because Sami Hyypiä played for them. And then they won the Champions League in 2004 / 2005 that season. And it was Liverpool that, and Chelsea started to of course, Chelsea came up when Michael Forsell, of course, was scoring for Chelsea, and that was before the Abramovich days. So you would kind of read the sports news, and you would see Chelsea coming up here and there, and that was like a new name for me back in those days. Everybody knew the big four or the big three or whatever it was back in then, but Chelsea started to emerge like in international levels, and then because of the Liverpool following, in the Roman era, when Roman took over and Chelsea started winning things, and Chelsea and the butt hurt that Liverpool fans got and all the other fans got, really that was that got me fond of Chelsea. I wasn't a fan of them because I couldn't watch the games, but I can't say I've been a fan since the Roman days, but I've had really kind of fond memories and kind of cheered up for Chelsea every time they played on the Champions League, and I've watched them. I've cheered for them. I did watch the some of the legendary Champions League games in the Roman era, including, of course, the when we won the first Champions League. But I wasn't a Chelsea fan then. It didn't feel as good as the second one because I was piss drunk at a pub when in a pub that was full of Bayern Munich fans, and there was a fun moment. Let me just finish about that particular game, because a lot of you Chelsea fans consider that to be the best moment, but I wasn't a Chelsea fan, like a fan in those days yet. That was one of the moments that led up for me to become a Chelsea fan. But I had this great memory of being in a pub full of Bayern Munich fans. They're all cheering up. Bayern goes up. Everybody, like, beer is flowing up. The atmosphere is off the roof. And then we go to extra time, and you can see that the torment in the Bayern Munich fans, like, this is not going to end well for us. And I've always liked to like cheer for the team that causes like the big upset for fans of big teams. That's kind of
the underdog.
Yes, and that won me over because during the Roman days, the upset that we caused all the Liverpool community, all that always made me smile. And of course I'm super pumped up when there's a World Cup coming up, and that, of course, that particular Champions League game was before the Euros of 2012, right? So usually I would like watch more football before the tournament and to kind of prepare myself, like who's playing and who's who and this kind of stuff, and who, if there's any new faces or familiar faces. But when the 2014 World Cup came up, and I was so pumped up for that, and I started watching the Champions League season go on. That was the Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid final. Remember that one? Courtois played for Atletico Madrid, and of course Chelsea. Yeah, there was. I really was cheering up for Chelsea, and unfortunately they didn't make it. But Eden Hazard was the player that turned me over. And after that season, I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna subscribe to a service that'll like get me the football channels, and I can watch the full season of Premier League, and we won the league, and the next year we sacked Mourinho, and the next year we won the league again. But the best moment for me was, sorry, it's been a long story, but it had to be last year's Champions League win, when we won it the second time, because I wasn't a fan at first. And that first one won me over, and the next time I had to wait 9 years for it to happen. And during that time, I became really affiliated, really fond of Chelsea, and I've seen the ups and downs, every game, every press conference, everything from that 2014 and 15 season onwards. So, to win that Champions League game after the
camera's frozen.
Yeah,
carry on.
But the audio is fine. Anyway, the season when Tuchel came in, and what we did, and by the way, that was when you started streaming these your live commentary, and he was locked down. You couldn't go to pubs, you couldn't see your mates, you couldn't see your friends, and that's when I started interacting in the chat, and like all these great people, and that felt special, going through that, and all, like seeing the Giroud bicycle kick, and seeing and seeing Ben Chilwell doing that replay of the Fernando Torres goal. The whole build up to that final was just unreal. It was a awful year for me otherwise, but that day when we won the Champions League was like the best moment for me as a Chelsea fan. It's a long story. Sorry for it, but
that's all good. That's all good. And Mehdi, your best moment?
Well, for me, it must be like our first Champions League win. Like, it doesn't, for me at least, it doesn't even compare to our second Champions League. Like, our second Champions League felt like a Premier League. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I was happy and all over it, but it wasn't like the first one, because the first one, like, don't forget, the couple of years before that, like, we were getting so close. That final at Moscow against United, and especially that semi-final against Barcelona, because I think that year, like, we really had the best team in Europe, and we certainly deserved to qualify to the final that year. We would have won it all. And then like these like special like legends of the club, like Cole and Cech and Terry and Lampard and Drogba, like they were all getting like much older, and you could feel that it's their last chance, that we wouldn't get there with the same group, and we all Chelsea fans loved that group so much, because what they represented. Like, for me, especially Drogba, he's by far my favorite player, and he's the one who made me a Chelsea fan. Because like beyond the skills, like I could argue that Drogba was never like the best striker in the world in any particular season, but when you watch him, it's like he's like much more than a player. His like personality like shines through when he plays. And so definitely that win in München, but that semi-final too against Barcelona, that Torres goal, that was a great moment as well. Like almost as good as winning the Champions League. that moment alone was ecstatic. Yeah.
See, I have to say, so Champions League final against Bayern Munich. I'll tell you a story. So didn't have tickets to go to Munich, so myself and my mates went up to Fulham Broadway to go to Brogan's. So we walked in the big Brogan's pub on the Fulham Broadway. So we got in there around about midday. We got that early, and our plan was to scope different bars around Fulham Broadway and around the ground, to then decide on where we're going to go. So we went in there around about 12:15, and they were selling a hamburger and a pint for £5, which is decent. I have to say that. So me and my two mates were like, do you know what? Because we had about 4 others meeting us around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll stay here. We'll have a pint, a burger, this sort of thing. And anyway, that was the same day, I think, where West Ham were playing Blackpool. I think it was West Ham Blackpool in the Championship playoff game to come to Premier League, middle of the afternoon. So we're in Brogan's having this, and the bar staff are wearing like school girl outfits and this sort of stuff. And we're like, oh, we'll stay here. It's not too bad. And then, and by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the pub was half full. And by 6 p.m, they locked the doors. It was absolutely packed. But as it sort of moved across the afternoon and got busier and busier and busier, we moved ourselves upstairs and found ourselves a spot where toilet was just there, big screen TV's just there, bars right behind us, perfect. So, and literally, so there was the song going, the 10 German bombers in the air, the RAF from Chelsea shot one down, all this sort of stuff was going around. No. And literally, it was just, so from 6 p.m, they shut the doors, and then the game started. And before the game, the bar staff put all shots on the bar for everyone. 3 shots, everyone's having a shot, and it's sort of stuff, calming their nerves. And then when they scored, when Muller scored with like, whether it was 6, 7, 8 minutes to go, I was like, oh my God. And then just remember that when Drogba's header so for me, it's got to be the Bayern game as the best moment. But for me at the time, Didier Drogba's header, for me, was just the best header I think I've ever seen. Like, not because I'm a Chelsea fan, but the power he got on that header. And bear in mind, Manuel Neuer is a mountain of a man, and it's at his near post. And the bloke's got arms like it's huge.
Yeah, he got a piece of it too.
He got a piece of it, but he couldn't stop it, could he? He pushed it up into the thing. But when that goal went in, the whole pub literally erupted. There was I think it was 2 minutes to go of normal time, and then obviously Drogba fouled Ryan Robben for the penalty. But when it went to penalties, it was just, honestly, there was all of us in there. And then when it went to penalties, we're standing there. And then when Mata missed the first one, it's like, oh my God, here we go again. This is bloody Moscow again. And then obviously Cech did what he did. And then when Drogba stepped up and scored, honestly, the elation for me, my mates that have been Chelsea through and through. Now, I've been going to Chelsea since, my regulars know this, I've been going to Chelsea since 1980. I've been beyond electric fences. I've been second division with 8,000 fans. My family's from like 200 yards from the ground, so we used to go there when I was young. So my granddad, from my dad's side, used to have a fruit and veg store on North End Road, which is probably about 10, 15 minute walk away from the ground. We used to go there. I used to help him. And then we used to leave there at 2:30, come around to Chelsea, via the old club shop, get my sweatbands, as I did as a kid, get into the ground and see my other granddad, who was on the turnstiles, and then get inside the ground, they'll save the bridge and all this sort of stuff. And I used to get in there. I used to absolutely love it. And we used to be, it didn't matter what we were, second division, the old first division, and loved it. And I was just hooked. But Chelsea back in the day, back then, your highlight, if you were in the first division, was playing the likes of the Arsenal, the Liverpool, the Man United. That was a highlight. And your aim at Chelsea then was to finish top half, and then maybe to beat one of these teams and maybe push towards top 6. That's what it was for years and years and years. So
I can respect that.
So when Chelsea won the Champions League for the first time, it literally, everything just the whole
whole journey flashed.
The whole journey for me. So I'm talking 32 years of being a Chelsea fan when it happened. of being there with like watching Chelsea versus Grimsby at home in the old second division with 8,000 fans raining behind electric fences to where we were now. It's just like, and that's why I always say to people that go, oh, you know, Chelsea bought the league, Chelsea money this and money that. I don't care, because if so, for example, Tottenham now are spending quite a bit of money. So if they spend a lot of money this summer, they 200-300 million, and they, God forbid, win the Premier League, are they going to turn around and go, well, you bought it because you spent loads of money or whatever? They're going to love it. Of course they are. We loved it. We absolutely loved it. But honestly, the emotion that day, and then it all spilled out onto Fulham Broadway, and these poor people in their cars, literally, with like just normal day-to-day life, going home at whatever it was, 10:30 on a Saturday night, and they're parked up at the traffic lights, waiting for the traffic lights to change, and everyone spilled out from all the pubs onto Fulham Broadway. There was people on top of bus stops. There was, unfortunately, by the ground, there was like someone got on a bus and like smashed the windows up. But these poor people sitting in their cars, everyone's on the roof and just celebrating, and it was unreal. It was absolutely unreal. But that's for crazy. Me, that's got to be the best moment for me, because, like I say, from when I started to what the ambitions of the football club were, or what our highlights were, to actually sitting there going, you know, we're champions of Europe, like literally. And that's why Frank Lampard, his interview was great when it on Sky, when he's like, you know, I told you we're the best in the world, I think he said, or whatever it was he said. But I have to say, and MCIG made a point of saying it on the chat. I can't find his comment. So last season with the Champions League final, so we were doing the build-up as Woodshadow said. So I was doing live match commentaries and this sort of thing. And you can still see it on my, he put it here, remember the stream, we won it last year. So on the build-up to the Champions League final last season, the Man City game, I saw all this nonsense about Man City this, Man City that. And I was putting videos out all week. And I was saying all week to people, ignore it. It's fine. Let them talk. Let them do what they want to do. Let them talk about it. It's fine. And I kept saying, Chelsea are a bit the best when they're underdogs. All the pressure's on Man City. It's not on Chelsea. It's all on Man City. And I kept saying that. And then I remember the Champions League final last season. I was doing I think the stream was from 7:30, possibly. Kick-off at 8, maybe. And I put the coverage on, BT Sport in the UK coverage, with Rio Ferdinand, with that nonsense of a player, Owen Hargreaves, somebody else. And the Man City team come out, and there was no Rodri, no Rodri, and no Fernandinho. And straight away, in my mind, I was going, what are you doing? Why are you playing no defensive-minded midfielders? And Rio Ferdinand literally was messing himself. Oh, Man City, I can't believe how attacking they're going to be. They're going to be... He literally said, popping balls about. And I'm sitting there thinking, you don't know, mate. You carry on and all this sort of stuff. It was so biased. And then, of course, when Chelsea turned up and did what they did, like, you know, you've got it on my channel where you can watch it back. But yeah, I don't mind telling you, I cried. Yeah. I cried when we won it for
before that final, like before we all saw the lineup, all Chelsea fans were joking, like, because we all thought Guardiola would make like a typical mistake, like he always does in big games. And still, he did it. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, I thought I had the lineup wrong for Sam. Like,
but this is the thing, though.
Incredible.
Right? So we're in that Champions League final, and we beat them like 3 times. I think the last 4 we beaten Man City. So this season was, you look at the games we played against them this season, didn't even turn up, Chelsea, and that's what was really frustrating. So there are frustrating moments.
Can I go back to the 2012, the first Champions League?
Yeah.
I listened to both of your stories. Like, that's the best moment, and especially like this big, like this journey from the 80s to the 90s to the 20s, and all that whole journey kind of burst when you when that penalty goes in. And that was kind of like my exact thoughts last year. Like, I saw that final, but I wasn't a Chelsea fan back then. I was a what you would call like a just a spectator. Like, I was just I was just there to like see a good game. But I was, of course, cheering for Chelsea. But I have a story of that game. It's regarding Thomas Muller. It's more banter. So,
oh, okay,
okay. But yeah, I remember when that goal went in, and the whole pub was just in a roar. Like you couldn't hear anything, and there was beer spilling and all that. But then you started to see the replays. Do you guys remember Thomas Muller's celebration?
Yeah.
And they were showing that they were showing that celebration in like slow motion. And then I have to excuse myself. I was pretty drunk then, but I said to my friend who was sitting next to me, like, I was kind of disappointed. Like I said, this guy looks like in Star Wars, like Jabba the Hutt's pet, like you remember?
Yeah.
And then I could see like heads turning.
Because there was like a crowd of players on top of him, and he sort of appeared underneath them, and he started doing all this sort of stuff. But they thought at the time that they'd done it, didn't they?
When Thomas Muller started celebrating like frantically, it kind of like I don't know why that kind of scene where Jabba the Hutt's like that annoying pet like starts to pop all around it. Anyway, I started to get really nasty, annoyed looks from the table next to me, but.
You can imagine the Bayern fans.
Yeah, well, we equalized, and then that kind of changed everything. So I had a really glorious moment to myself there. And like I said, that was one of those steps that I took that led me to become a Chelsea fan. I couldn't watch Chelsea like a full season back then, but you know that was one of those games that started slowly turning me towards being a fan. It did feel good, but obviously it wasn't that game for me like it was for you guys.
Yeah, and even like after that game, like the best interview was when they asked Ashley Cole after the win. I told him they say that Germans don't lose on penalties, and he said, they do now.
They do now.
That was goal. That was amazing.
Exactly. Guys, let's just say thank you so much for joining. I'm gonna have to close it down there. So I really appreciate you coming on. Woodsheddar, thank you very much, mate, from the beginning.
Thank you.
Mehdi, thank you for joining and for contributing.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, well, you're welcome, more than welcome. So we're going to do this in the future, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being part of the stream. And look out for it next week. We'll try and do once a week, these kind of streams. If you want to get involved, become a channel member, and then we'll get you on. So anyway, have a great evening. Thank you guys again for being here. And let's see what happens as far as Chelsea transfers goes. God knows. See you guys.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. See you.
See you later. See ya. Good night, guys. Take care of yourselves. Don't worry about Chelsea transfers. It's all going to be fine. Don't worry. Enjoy your evening and just wait to see what happens. Don't panic. Thanks for being here. Smash the like button. Become a channel member. Only £1 a month. See you guys. See ya.